Fall has arrived in the Queen City, and while the temperature is finally falling, the pressure of the games is picking up. It's Conference USA football as the Charlotte 49ers play host to Western Kentucky. Good Saturday afternoon, everybody. Bobby Rosensky alongside it, Jay Sonhalter. And Jay, a good one we're going to have on tap here today between the 49ers and the Hilltoppers. And for both these teams, not the years they've wanted so far, but both coming off bye weeks. What's the importance of what these teams could do during the weeks ahead?
Yeah, Bobby,
who's 49?
To get healthy. Both these teams coming off a defeat, they need to get healthy, but also get mentally right.
You know who's wearing 49?
Themselves in practice, self-scouting themselves to get ready for the second half of the season.
He's a captain.
Kentucky injuries have had issues at the quarterback
it's probably
position.
Gemmel.
Who's going to start yet
thinking
for this game, but Stephen Duncan.
Because that's all the captains that are out there.
Well, he's got a big arm, but he's also mobile. 6'4", 230 pounds. He likes to run the zone read, but his arm strength, that's the key for him. He's going to have to take shots down the field to stretch out the Charlotte defense. And then Masai White, number 25, on the defensive side, his speed, he's all over the field, and he's a thumper in run support. 7 tackles against Marshall last week, but he had his first career interception. He's a game changer on the defensive side of the ball.
For the Charlotte 49ers, Jay, they got to find a way to get this man, Benny LeMay, going.
He's just outstanding with his balance, but then his athleticism here, jumping over defenders.
Just
a great job of being patient, waiting for the holes to develop, and then his power getting into the end zone. He's the key player for the 49ers offense. Then on the defensive side, Jeff Gemmel, in the middle, 6'3", 234 pounds. A great job getting in the backfield.
Kickoff coming up next from Jerry Richardson Stadium.
There are over 400 current student athletes who represent 18 sports and hundreds more who have left their legacy.
The Charlotte 49ers Athletic Department
supports a culture where
our gifts are celebrated.
Because of you, I'm all confident.
Because of you,
we make history.
Because of you,
I've got home court advantage.
To all 49er Club members, I'm a product of what your gifts can accomplish. You have helped me achieve my dreams. Thank you.
Stronger together.
Innovative.
Pushing ourselves to think outside the box.
We love to compete. Any team.
Anytime.
And any place.
Inspiring others through service and achievement.
Comfortable leading in a different way.
Preparing for life beyond athletics.
Determined to achieve our vision.
Building the next generation.
And we aren't afraid of doing it our way.
This is the CUSA way. WKU is more than a beautiful campus.
It's a place where I'm encouraged to get involved.
In the things that interest me the most.
Where I can stay fit and active.
And hang out with the coolest mascot around.
Where I'm encouraged to be a leader both in and out of the classroom.
And where I'm making friendships.
That will last a lifetime.
But don't just take our word for it.
Come and experience it for yourself.
It's all within your reach at Western Kentucky University.
At UNC Charlotte, we know a thing or two about opportunity. We build a foundation, inspired progress. Now, opportunity knocks. Who is it? The future. It's here. But it doesn't end here. It leads you here, here, and here, and pulls you right back here. Feel it? That's opportunity.
The Charlotte 49ers have won the toss. They'll defer, which means we'll find out who that starting quarterback is for Western Kentucky in just about a minute. But right now, let's send it down to the third member of our team down on the field. That's Stormy Bonatoni. Stormy?
Thanks, Bobby. In talking to Western Kentucky head coach Mike Sanford yesterday, he called this game massive in terms of determining the type of team that they're going to be. The biggest question mark in that, of course, as you just said, is who's their starting quarterback. And Mike Sanford has been keeping that extremely close to the vest. But I can tell you what I saw on the field pregame, and that was Davis Shanley taking the majority of those first-team reps and taking snaps from starting center Seth Jost. So we'll have to see who actually ultimately runs out there. As you know, Western Kentucky has had 4 quarterbacks play through those first 5 games, 3 different starters, so it'll be exciting to see who actually runs out there with the offense today.
Thank you, Stormy. The 49ers here to kick the football away. Weather just perfect here in Charlotte on this Saturday. 71 degrees, wind about 7 miles an hour out of the north, and most importantly, 0% chance of rain. So if it does, we'll bring Mark, our stats guy, here to my right, because he wrote that down, 0% chance of rain. So let's hope perfect skies, and we are ready for football. And Jay, as Stormy said, this is a critical game for both these teams. The 49ers have dropped 2 straight. For Western Kentucky, 1-4. There's the cliche, you're better than your record indicates. I think that's true for Western Kentucky at 1-4.
And they're a young team, and they're trying to find stability, but they're also trying to find a way to win games in the fourth quarter. So both of these teams, it's important to get off to a good start here today.
Jonathan Cruz to kick it off for the 49ers. Sloan and Darden back deep to return for the Hilltoppers. We're underway, homecoming in Charlotte. And this ball will get into the end zone for a touchback. And now we'll keep our eyes on the Western Kentucky sideline to see who will be the starting quarterback. It was Drew Eccles to start the year. He got banged up, second game of the season, has not played since. He is on this trip. He was dressed out for warm-ups, but you got Duncan, Shanley, and Thomas, the 3 other guys. And Jay, we were watching them down on the field, even when they announced the starting lineups on the video board before they skipped the starting quarterback position.
It's amazing how they really have kept it a secret, and now, coming out on the field, it's going to be Davis Shanley. But it has been a surprise up until this moment.
So Shanley on the year, 37 of 55 throwing the ball. That's 67.3%. 412 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. He's rushed for 55. Now, talking with the 49er coaching staff this week, they said really no matter which the quarterback is, the scheme is still the same. Quick throw here to the outside. Jernigan on the reception. He's going to take it back and actually lose a couple yards, but fight forward to the 26-yard line. So just a 1-yard pickup on first down.
Now, the Hilltoppers, they want to play up-tempo, but with Shanley in the ball game, out of the 3 quarterbacks that could play today, he's got the best speed. I expect to see him the zone read today as well in the run game.
It was Duncan all last week in their loss against Marshall, or 2 weeks ago. Shanley goes over the middle. He's got Fortenberry, and this is going to be a first down to the 36-yard line. Kyle Fortenberry, his 18th catch of the season, 4+ catches the last 3 games, and the Hilltoppers quickly move the chains.
They want to put pressure on this 49ers defense, not give them a lot of time to set up. Great job by Fortenberry, sing over the middle.
And this ball dropped by Shanley, will throw it off to Jernigan, but he's going to be dropped behind the line. About a 5-yard loss on the play, and it all started there on the center quarterback exchange.
You just got to be able to have a clean exchange there. Anytime when the ball goes down, it messes up the timing, and this Charlotte 49ers defense do such a good job of getting pressure, flying to the football, and playing fast. And a huge loss there in first down.
Shanley, a redshirt freshman, 6'1", 190. He's got Joshua Samuel, a redshirt front running back. Moves to his left. Second down and 15. They'll go play action. Shanley with plenty of time going deep over the middle, and it's going to be picked off. Jawan Foggy coming back the other way, his 3rd pick of the season, and he's dragged out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Fortenberry was open there, but the pass just well overthrown.
Well, and Shanley here with a strong arm, but too deep. How many times do you see a linebacker playing center field? Foggy, so athletic, great hands there, roving over to get that ball, and a huge turnover for the defense.
Jawan Foggy, the redshirt senior, 26 yards on that return, his 3rd pick of the year. Had a pick 6 in the season opening win for Charlotte against Fordham. Also had a big 4th quarter interception in their other win against Old Dominion. So now we see Chris Reynolds, a redshirt freshman quarterback for the Charlotte 49ers, 5'11", $199 from Mocksville, North Carolina. It'll be a handoff, Benny LeMay. Benny with some room inside the 30, still on his feet. Benny to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Charlotte, Benny LeMay. 35 yards, and the 49ers, just like that, are up 6-0.
On a perfect start here, and R.J. Tyler, the tight end, leading the way, and then it was LeMay bouncing it to the outside. 49ers had a tough start the past 2 ball games, but a great way to begin this ball game with the interception and then punching it in on the ground.
49ers are going to go for 2. They swing it to the outside. They got R.J. Tyler hit hard, and he's not going to get in. Big tackle on the far side of the field. That was Green on the stop for Western Kentucky. So not even 2 minutes in and the fireworks already happening here in Charlotte. Jonathan Cruz getting ready to kick the football back off for the Charlotte 49ers. As the 49ers have jumped on top 6-0, just a minute 45 into this game. Benny LeMay, 35-yard touchdown run. Happening on the first play after Juwan Foggy had his third interception of the season. This kickoff going to head into the end zone right at the goal line. Sloan going to bring it out, and he's going to be hit and spun down at the 21-yard line. Will Graham, redshirt sophomore linebacker, in on the stop. So now the Hilltoppers back out on offense, Jay. And what do you think the conversation was for Mike Sanford over there on the sideline?
The number one key is with Shanley, you've got to settle down. Even though you had a play go against you, you've got to settle down, get in the flow of this game. They've got to find a way to get him into rhythm here early. But for these quarterbacks, for the Hilltoppers, there's so much competition in that room, and you have to wonder the pressure they have on them, looking over their shoulder, how long the leash is, because we know there's probably going to be a couple quarterbacks that play today.
Shanley, as you see, back out for his second drive. Samuel's still the running back. Again, and this one read well by the 49ers. Not much happening. Maybe a yard to the 22.
Glenn Spencer this week talked with us, Bobby, about Mike Sanford. Always the first 15, 20 plays of the game shows the defense something different. He always comes up with something they haven't put out on film. A lot of misalignments, movements, shifts to put pressure on the defense.
Tight ends in college football you might not think a whole lot about, but Western Kentucky, they do know how to use them. Fortenberry, Dean, another guy we'll see big time in this game. Here's a throw to the outside. That pass hauled in. That's Sloan. And that'll be a first down out to the 33-yard line.
Sloan has great speed on the outside. They're coming up on the curl route, but he's the one wideout that has excellent top-end speed. The secondary, they're going to have to be careful with him because he is going to go on some go routes throughout this ballgame.
Hilltoppers offense comes into this game 13th in Conference USA. Here's a quick throw to the outside. That pass is going to be caught. Jernigan on the reception across the 45. Out to the 48-yard line. So a couple nice completions have Western Kentucky in business.
Quinn Jernigan, 6'3", but great agility for a big guy. It's a quick out route, protection up front by the offensive line. Plenty of time to throw for Shanley.
Shanley going to throw again. Facing some pressure, and he's dropped. Juwan Foggy. Now with a sack to go along with the interception just 3 minutes into this game.
Foggy, he's been all over the field. Bobby, with his ability to drop in coverage and then come up here on the blitz from the outside, just shoved Samuel out of the way. And getting into the backfield, another huge play by the linebacker.
Samuel, he'll go off. Garland LaFrance checks in. LaFrance, the freshman running back, at 177 all-purpose yards, and their loss against Maine back in week 2. Shanley to LaFrance. LaFrance has got some room across the 45, near the first down. It's going to be 1 yard shy of the first down. Excuse me, back to the original line of scrimmage, 1 yard shy. So now third down and 11 for the Hilltoppers.
And Bobby, the Hilltoppers, 3 freshmen running back that all play. That's an area where I think the 49ers can take advantage of that, because as a freshman, the hardest thing to do is pass protection. 49ers, if they bring the blitz, they have to feel like they've got confidence that their blitzing defender can beat that running back in protection.
Hilltoppers converting at 37.5% this year on third down. Shanley steps up in the pocket over the middle, and it is incomplete. Lucky Jackson was hit hard. And it falls incomplete.
Jackson coming across the middle. You've got to have courage, because you know you're going to get drilled, and they're almost able to come down with it, but it was Gemmel laying the shot down on him. Just a great job there by Gemmel, kind of patrolling the middle of the field, and then with the big hit.
So the 49er linebacker stepping up. Gemmel normally wears number 34, but there's an honor each game for a 49er player to wear the number 49. And the redshirt junior getting that honor today. And he forces a Hilltopper punt. Mark Quattlebaum's back to return. We'll call the fair catch and make it at the 15-yard line. So Western Kentucky, a couple completions got him near midfield, but a sack by Juwan Foggy puts an end to that drive. 49er offense back when we come. Homecoming here in Charlotte. The Charlotte 49ers right now leading Western Kentucky 6-0. A 38-yard punt by the Hilltoppers, no return on the fair catch. So now Chris Reynolds of the 49er offense. First drive was just one play, 35-yard touchdown run by Benny LeMay. They're going to give it right back to Benny, going up the middle. He's got some room across the 20-yard line, out to the 23. So an 8-yard pickup, and Jay, that was the conversation this week, getting Benny LeMay involved. Well, they've done that pretty good the first two plays.
Yeah, 14 carries against UAB a couple weeks ago, and they had to play from behind, and the strength, the best player on the offense is LeMay. They feel like they can take advantage of this fast but small Western Kentucky defense that plays a 4-2-5, so 5 defensive backs out on the field.
Second down and short. Reynolds going to throw to the first time. It's outside to Victor Tucker. He's got the catch, a first down across the 30. And Jay, that's another guy to keep an eye on in this game. Victor Tucker, the redshirt freshman wide receiver, leading this team in catches. That's his 28th reception of the season. Shoulder injury a couple weeks ago, and they're not really sure what they're going to get out of Victor Tucker in this game.
Playing through a lot of pain, and good to see him out there, though. It's going to be hard for him in the passing game to take hits and also blocking, too. But they're great throw by Reynolds right on target, and he's an important piece to create the balance for this offense in the passing game.
First and 10 49ers at the 34-yard line. Send Quattlebaum in motion. Reynolds has got time, going to air it deep down the field, looking for Tucker, and it falls incomplete. Tucker having to play more defensive back on that play. DeAndre Ferris, one of the captains of this Hilltopper football team. Great coverage there on Tucker.
Shane Montgomery going with a deep shot here. Really important to stretch this defense out. Tucker one-on-one coverage. Ball a little bit too deep.
Hilltopper defense been playing well this season. Have held 3 straight FBS teams at or under 20 points. First time in program history. Last week, forced 4 turnovers against Marshall. There's a pass over the middle, too high for Warpay Kofa. Hilltoppers providing the heat there. Ben Holt, the other captain of this Western Kentucky team, coming from a football family in Western Kentucky. So third down for the 49ers. Charlotte's second in Conference USA, 42.9% on third down. Western Kentucky been strong on the defensive side as they come in fourth at 34.3%. Hilltoppers will bring 5. Reynolds going to throw to the far side, looking for Quattlebaum, and you're going to get pass interference there. You're going to get an argument from Western Kentucky that the pass was overthrown. You did see, Jay, look like the left hand grabbed around the waist to Quattlebaum.
Yeah, Kincaid, number 31. It didn't look necessary. The ball is a little bit deep here, but right here, you'll see turning the hip of Quattlebaum right in plain open view. 49ers going to continue this drive.
Yeah, they won't call pass interference, they'll call holding. So instead of the 15-yard penalty, it'll be a 10-yard penalty against the Hilltoppers. Move the ball up to the 44-yard line. Chris Reynolds coming into this football game, a completion percentage of 65.2%, on pace for a 49ers single season record. Ball was snapped, everybody just stops, and now Reynolds will just run out of bounds. Well, he looked over at the official, maybe thinking there'd be a false start. Was there a timeout called? Brad Lambert now trying to talk to the officials.
Well, Reynolds here, luckily, even though he paused, everybody else did, but he was lucky. The defensive line stopped as well, but good job by him recognizing as quick as he could and getting out of harm's way.
And you can see Benny LeMay is running back behind him. He was kind of signaling timeout. Reynolds loses 2 on that play. And now we're going to get a false start against the 49ers. Nate Davis, the redshirt senior. And it's a guy, Jay, that missed the first 4 games. Suspended, but back 2 weeks ago against UAB. And this is a guy a lot of people think we'll see playing on Sundays next year.
Yeah, Coach Lambert, very happy to have him back. Preseason, second team all-conference. It's important to have that experience back on that offensive line, the cohesion. He's a big piece of it.
He's playing right guard last week. You see him at right tackle right now. 2nd and 17. Reynolds going to throw. That pass is going to be caught by Tucker. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Now bring up 3rd and 10.
Tucker, he's got great speed, but he's such a good route runner, finding the open zones on the defense, especially playing hurt here today. He's done a good job getting open.
Hilltoppers showing the blitz. 49ers with 3 wides. You got 2 to your near left, 1 out to the right. Benny LeMay still the running back. They'll bring the pressure. Reynolds going to look throw near side of the field, and that ball is going to be trapped by Quattlebaum. Falls incomplete, and the Western Kentucky defense standing up here to force a punt.
In a zone blitz by the Hilltoppers, they faked blitz from the outside, and then up the middle. Jarrell Green came right up, got pressure on Reynolds. The offensive line holding up just enough to get that ball off. That drive, they just weren't able to establish the run and use the play action pass there.
Roger Cray back to return, the sophomore. 5 returns this year, a 4.6 average. Kyle Corbett to do the punting for the 49ers. A rugby style kick. Going to be picked up by Cray at the 14-yard line. But he had called a fair catch. And they will blow the play dead at the 15-yard line. So overall, a solid punt for Kyle Corbett. Western Kentucky down by 6. Their offense.
I'm thirsty. Stranger danger, stranger danger, danger danger.
7:02 to go in the opening quarter. Charlotte on top of Western Kentucky, 6-0. Let's send it back down to the 3rd member of our team, and that's Stormy Bonatoni. Stormy?
Well, Bobby, it's safe to say the Charlotte defense has been playing outstanding, and defensive tackles coach Brad Queen challenged them to keep it up. He said, keep going. It's not a let up. We got to keep it going. We've got to keep it going. He told them, I don't want to see one person getting out there on the field looking relaxed, and looked right at Juwan Foggy and said, let's get another turnover.
And Juwan Foggy off to a great start in this game. Stormy interception. Anasaki makes the tackle there, Jay. And Jay, that's the first time in this game that we've seen the Hilltoppers run the football.
Yeah, and they haven't even attempted it at all. And in the passing game, they've been trying to get rid of the ball quickly here, but they've got to establish some sort of run game to have some threat to help out their offensive line and slow down the pass rush of the defense.
Hilltoppers averaging 117.4 on the ground. The 49ers are that #1 rush defense in Conference USA. Here's the throw to the outside, close to being picked off. And the wrestling match goes in favor of the Hilltoppers. Sloan took the ball away, and that's a first down.
Yeah, and this ball dangerous with Foggy coming over there as well. Ian Gibbs, the safety, and Sloan was a curl route. Somehow he was able to just snatch it away, but dangerous throw by Shanley.
So first down for the Hilltoppers to the 27-yard line. 6 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Charlotte leading on a 35-yard touchdown run by Benny LeMay. Play action. Pressure coming from Butler. Shanley able to avoid it. Now he throws over the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught. Sloan. Oh, a 49er player was right there. Denzel Irvin looked like a chance for an interception, and Sloan with 2 big plays in a row.
And his speed here coming across the field. Good job by Shanley eluding Butler.
My time for injury.
but somehow able to kind of thread the needle there, put that ball in place, and Sloan fell right into his lap. Great coverage by the 49ers, but somehow not able to knock that ball away.
Have a 49er player shaken up back at the line of scrimmage. It was a 42-yard completion. Sloan coming into this game, 12 catches, 204 yards, had 4 for 87 2 weeks ago against Marshall with a long of 60. And Sloan stepping up here with a couple big catches as the Hilltoppers try to even this game up, and an extra point to give them a lead. That's Alex Highsmith walking off the field, and Jay Alex, a redshirt junior, a guy that's really come into his own, especially this year for Charlotte.
A key defender, and the coaches talk so highly of him. Such an important piece on the defensive line, getting pressure, but also in run support. They need him, and hopefully he'll be okay. You're walking over on the sideline to come back in this game.
So 1st and 10, Western Kentucky at the 31-yard line of the 49ers. And we are going to see Thomas now, the freshman, check in at quarterback. Appleby, the running back, to the right of Thomas. Thomas is going to run it himself, and he is a load to bring down, and you see him taking a couple Charlotte defenders down to the 24-yard line. Thomas, one play earlier this year, it was a 5-yard run against Maine. And he picks up 7 there. He'll stay in at quarterback. And it's a handoff, Appleby. And that is right near the first down line. Looks like he'll just be short at the 22. For more on the freshman quarterback for Western Kentucky, let's send it back down to Stormy.
Bobby, head coach Mike Sanford told me before the game that while there's been all of this controversy about who would be starting at quarterback, that I would for sure see Kivaris Thomas. They have a package and designed sets for him to utilize him and work him in, so that everybody was extremely impressed with what he's put in during the bye week and this last week, and that with the injury issues that they've been having, it's good to keep their fourth quarter go-to guy as upright as possible, so using his big body on those types of run plays will come in handy.
And they go 3rd and 1. It's a handoff going up the middle. And that's going to be a first down to the 19-yard line. They brought Shanley back in at quarterback. Appleby Jr. getting the carry, or Appleberry, excuse me. So now 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Appleberry staying in at running back. Shanley looking to throw to the outside. That ball going to be caught. Lucky Jackson on the reception. Hilltoppers this season, 11 of 16 in the red zone, 69%. Half of those 16 trips have resulted in touchdowns. So 2nd down and 4. Throw here to the near side of the field. That ball going to be caught down to the 5-yard line. Helmet comes off. Leach on the reception. And it's going to be 1st and goal for Western Kentucky.
And they're just throwing these short, precise passes, getting the ball out of Shanley's hand quickly, not allowing the pass rush to get there. Highsmith still not back in the ball game. 49ers need his pressure to slow down this passing attack.
So 1st and goal, Hilltoppers. Appleberry back in at running back. Thomas back in at quarterback. Thomas gonna run it himself. He's to the 2, carrying the pile. Thomas, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hilltoppers, and we are tied at 6.
On the quarterback designed run, we saw Thomas before the game. Big thighs, strong legs, very thick, 250 pounds. You can see they're 2 and 3 49ers defenders trying to bring him down, but you've got to go low on him. He is so strong. And as a true freshman, to come in and really be able to handle this offense and now starting to get more playing time, you can see how good he is on that zone replay and the quarterback draws already in this game.
Extra point by Ryan Nuss is up, and it is good. So the Hilltoppers, thanks to some big-time catches by Sloan, get into the end zone and take their first lead of this game A 9-play, 85-yard drive. Taking 3:42 off the clock. Thomas, a 4-yard touchdown run in Western Kentucky, now in front 7-6.
And it's tough for the 49ers defense, even though Davis and Thomas, Duncan, each one of these quarterbacks can run the same plays. You're facing different styles of play with Thomas. He's the physical bruising pounder. With Shanley, you're facing the speed from the quarterback position, the agility, more quickness, but a smaller player. So this defense, a lot of pressure on them with these quarterbacks rotating.
You see Cameron Bent, redshirt freshman, back to return for the 49ers. So the 49ers grab the early lead after an interception by Juwan Foggy. But Western Kentucky getting the offense going that last drive, now in front. And Bent's going to bring this out from about 3 yards deep. He's going to be met at the 15-yard line and dropped there. Player down for Western Kentucky back at the 18-yard line.
Time for injury.
And Jay, when you make those decisions to bring the ball out of the end zone, you better be right.
Yeah, and Bent, he's got great speed, but the coverage unit, they flew down the field so quickly. Then they just blew up the blockers in front. And you're right, if you're going to take a chance, you better have a feeling or an angle where you know that you can take it. And their Bent just got bottled up.
Devon Quincy, player shaken up for the Hilltoppers. Quincy, a redshirt sophomore. 1 tackle on the season coming into this game. Coach Sanford out there in his second year here with Western Kentucky. Was Notre Dame's offensive coordinator 2015-2016. When hired, was the youngest D1 coach until Lincoln Riley took over for Bob Stoops at Oklahoma. Sanford did have a previous stop with Western Kentucky. That was back 2010 when Willie Taggart was leading the way. After that, Sanford's bounced around to some of the top programs in college football. Was at Stanford. For people in this area, he was the prime recruiter for Christian McCaffrey. And people now seeing with the Carolina Panthers, helped coach Andrew Luck when he was there. So if there's 2 guys you're going to put on your resume, Christian McCaffrey, Andrew Luck might be 2 guys I would put down.
A great career so far. You know, it's interesting when you've got a coach that has so much experience, so many different schools that you've been at, and as a player at Boise State, you learn so many different styles and principles, and it's one of those deals where you kind of take something from each school, each experience, and build it into your own. And here as a head coach, trying to get this Hilltopper program on the rise.
See Quincy now up, obviously slowly making his way off the field. You heard Stormy say earlier how Coach Sanford talked about this game and how critical it was. This is a Western Kentucky team. They've gone bowling 4 straight years. And if they want to make that 5 straight years, they know they need to turn it around starting today. After this game, they'll welcome ODU. ODU having a rough season outside the one big win that they did have, knocking off Virginia Tech. And the Hilltoppers will also get FIU and then a road game at Middle Tennessee. Charlotte's heading to Murfreesboro next week. Take on the Blue Raiders. 1st and 10, 49ers here at the 15-yard line. Reynolds going to throw it near side to Tucker. Cam Clark, the lineman, out leading the way blocking. Tucker going to fight forward. And it's going to be a first down out to the 26.
Yeah, good job getting rid of that ball quickly. And Clark able to get out there. He really couldn't make the block, but he just got in the way enough. And Tucker followed him and then took off for the extra yards.
Victor Tucker, despite some shoulder concerns going into this game, haven't seen it early on. This time they'll hand it off. Aaron McAllister for the first time in this game. Get just across the 30. It's a little over 4 yards on first down by McAllister, redshirt sophomore from Live Oak, Florida. Last time out against UAB had 6 carries, just 7 yards. For the season, 176 yards coming into the game, a 4.1 average with 1 touchdown. Touchdown ended up being the winning score for the 49ers against Old Dominion. Second down. He gave them 5 on first down. Reynolds to the outside. There's Tucker again. Another catch. That's one to the 40-yard line. And the 49ers move the chains again.
And as a quarterback, sometimes you just have one wide receiver that you're comfortable with. And for Reynolds, he's looking for Tucker. It was a slant route. He got drilled once he caught it, but still good feel for where the coverage was, sneaking in behind the cornerback, and his quarterback finding him.
Well, Reynolds has 4 completions in this game. All have been to Victor Tucker. Orpe Kofa, the second leading wide receiver for the 49ers, 17 catches on the season. Tucker now finds himself with 31. And he missed the majority of their last game against UAB. Handoff McAllister, nothing happening there. Eli Brown stepping in on the stop for Western Kentucky.
Brown, the backup linebacker. This defense not very big, but they're very athletic. Brown, the junior from Bowling Green, Kentucky there, filling in the gap. And this 49ers offense, they want to set up the pass with the run. And with McAllister in the game, very confident with his ability, averaging over 4 yards per carry as well. So this 49ers offense, great depth in the backfield.
Brown, a transfer from Kentucky. Played 22 games for the Wildcats. Here's Reynolds going to throw again to the outside. This ball is going to be caught. Rico Arnold, freshman receiver, with the catch. He's going to be stopped just short of the first down. Nice tackle on the outside. And this will bring up a 3rd down and 1. 49ers don't have to run another play if they don't want to. They are going to make big substitutions, though. Hassan Klue, quarterback from last year, checks in.
3 tight ends coming in the ball game as well. So jumbo package here, looking to pound this ball here on 3rd down.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Hilltoppers got everybody at the line. Klue gonna run it himself. He's got the first down across midfield. Ball came out though. Western Kentucky saying they have it, and they do. So with 1 second left in the quarter, Hassan Klue checks in and coughs up the football. You still see a lot of shoving taking place. Shiny helmet day here in Charlotte. And Klue come running over to the sidelines. He's not arguing anything, so you know the ball was out.
Ruling is on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down. That's the end of the first quarter. Correction, 1 second.
There is 1 second left. Let's take a look at this. Here's Hassan Klue. See him pick up the first down. And that was Kincaid, it looked like, coming in punching the ball out. Klue had the first opportunity to fall on that. But Jay, as you played college football, you don't want to be at the bottom of one of those piles.
It's like a wrestling match, and everybody's scrounging for it, and it's physical down there. And you don't want people pulling at your legs, trying to find the ball. It's dangerous. And Klue there, a great weapon with his speed, plus his experience coming in the ball game. But that big shot by Kincaid, the defensive back, drilled the ball there out.
And they've upheld the turnover, so Western Kentucky going to take over here at midfield. This will be the final play of this first quarter. Shanley, the quarterback. It'll be a handoff going up the middle. Big hole across the 40, down to the 35-yard line. Samuel picking up 15 yards. So the momentum to start this game was in favor of the 49ers. An interception by Jawan Foggy, a touchdown run by Benny LeMay. But Western Kentucky gets a 4-yard touchdown run by Thomas, and now the turnover, and the Hilltoppers threatening when we start the second. That's how the scoring got started on a Saturday afternoon in Charlotte. Benny LeMay, a 35-yard touchdown run. 49ers would go for 2, not get it. And the Hilltoppers with a 4-yard touchdown run by Thomas. The extra point they attempted, they got it. And we start the second quarter with Western Kentucky on top, 7-6. Here's Samuel looking to room onto the outside. Pick up 3 yards down to the 32.
That was the same exact play, same run. they ran on the previous play with Fortenberry leading the way. These tight ends very active in the passing game. But with Dean and Fortenberry moving around in the alignment, they do a good job in the run game as well, blocking.
3 carries, 20 yards now for Samuel. Shanley going to throw here to the near side of the field. That ball going to be caught by Jackson. Gets inside the 30. Get to the 28-yard line. So now 3rd and 3. Western Kentucky 1 of 2 on 3rd downs in the first quarter.
Charlotte has to watch out for Lucky Jackson, number 11, in the slot, at the top of the screen, the leading wide receiver.
Samuel, the running back, comes back into the backfield. Shanley gonna hand it off. He's got the first down. Samuel in more. A flag is thrown. He'll get to the 20-yard line. This is against Western Kentucky. For Mike Sanford, you're gonna be frustrated because that first down was already picked up before the flag was thrown.
Holding, offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
Miles Pate, the right tackle. And actually the note I'd written down on Miles Pate, no flags thrown on him this season. Pro Football Focus ranking him 18th among tackles in college football. So Tate picking up his first one. And not exactly the best time for Western Kentucky. And now it's 3rd down and 13. They'll take Samuel off. Appleberry checks back in. Trips to the right for Shanley. 49ers are going to bring the blitz. Foggy providing the pressure, throw deep down the field. He's got a man, and it just overshot Lucky Jackson. He had gotten behind the defender, but the pass just a bit long.
Glenn Spencer, he brought the heat with Gemmel coming up the middle. And Jackson, redshirt junior, he put on a nice move with his speed, got deep. And Shanley, he had enough time there, even though pressure was coming. Just inaccurate and missed an opportunity there for a big play.
So the punt team coming on. Alex Ranella, redshirt junior, was very good last week against Marshall, had 4 punts inside the 20. And he has a good opportunity for that here. High punt. Quattlebaum calls for the fair catch, and he'll make it at the 6-yard line. So Ranella does his job once again, and the 49er offense going to be pinned deep in their own territory. Hilltoppers still up by 1. 13:01 to go in the opening half of play. Western Kentucky on top 7-6. Busy Saturday in Conference USA. UAB already a winner today, 42-0 over Rice. So UAB in that Western Division now 3-0. Bold trip last year in their first season back, well on their way again. Here's going to be a handoff. Benny LeMay going up the middle. And he's going to pick up 5 to 6 yards. And Jay, that's the thing you're wondering. First carry of the game, 35 yards. Second carry, 8 yards. That's just the 3rd carry for Benny LeMay.
And he's got to be involved. He's the best player on offense, and you've got to ride him. And even if the Hilltoppers stop him a couple times, LeMay is one of those backs that gets better as the game goes on, and already a great start to this game with 48 total yards. But he helps out this offense, really keeping them on schedule.
That punt was 31 yards, by the way. No return on the fair catch. And they'll hand the ball off again to Benny LeMay. Hit right at the 15-yard line. And it'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. And for that opening drive score, as you see Benny coming off the field. Check on his status. 49ers punted, then had the fumble by Hassan Klue last time out.
Darren Drake and R.J. Tyler coming there, leading the way for LeMay. And LeMay's so good running the ball, but they're coming off the field. The coaches talked about how important he is in pass protection as well. He's a really well-dimensional player, and they've got to find a way to keep him fresh, so hopefully he'll be okay coming off the field.
So Calvin Camp's the running back. Camp going to get the carry, And this is going to be close. Needed the 17 for a first down. And they're going to give them the first down. Calvin Camp, a redshirt freshman. She came here as a defensive player because of just depth needed along the running back position. Camp went in, talked with the coaches, made the switch to running back, and then the 49ers spring game was really the star of that game. Helped make him the number 3 running back for the 49ers. And with Benny LeMay a little shaken up, Calvin Camp going to get an opportunity. See the officials getting together here on the far side.
Western Kentucky is challenging the spot. The play is being reviewed.
So it was close. Watching it live, I wasn't quite sure. We'll see if we get another look at this to see whether Calvin Camp was able to pick up the first down or not. You need indisputable evidence to overturn it. Unless it's the Raiders and the Browns, then you can just overturn it.
We'll see here as Camp dives in.
Knee hits, but the body's forward. Yeah. Obviously, that angle's not going to allow you to change anything.
Yeah, just like you said, there has to be evidence in order to switch it and overturn it.
Just a lot of huge bodies in there.
And I don't think there's going to be enough evidence for them to overturn this. Camp coming in the ball game, 5'8", with his speed and also just the ability to kind of hide behind the offensive line as a young player. Ability to come into the ball game when your number is called. LeMay's the star, but these younger players provide good depth in the backfield.
Kind of like the call though, Jay, by Mike Sanford.
The ruling on the field stands. First down.
So there you go, indisputable evidence to be hard to overturn that. But if you're Coach Sanford here, Jay, you take the opportunity because you see
Western
something
Kentucky will be charged a timeout. Their first of the half.
That makes a change. That's fourth down. Then odds are you force Charlotte 49ers to punt the football, and you're going to be getting the ball in great field position.
Yeah, it's worth a chance, especially if you feel like in your gut that they didn't make it. Might as well take the chance because if you're right, you're going to get the offense off the field.
And again, unlike the NFL with challenges, you know, if the refs see something or the guy in the booth sees something, they'll look at it for the most part and review it. So it's not like you have to save a challenge for later in the game or have your 2 challenges, and if you lose one, then you have no more opportunities the rest of the game. So you lose the timeout, but in the first half, I don't think that's a major concern for Coach Sanford. 1st and 10. Camp still the running back. They'll go play action. Holt provides the pressure. It's dumped off to R.J. Tyler. We'll get out to the 23-yard line. 4th catch of the year for Tyler.
The linebackers there, Bobby, they flowed over so quickly to that play action fake, the fake handoff. Reynolds got the ball quickly over to Tyler, but that's because the 49ers have been able to run the ball. When the linebacker's flowing, he had just enough room to throw the ball over the top.
Ben Holt, the one providing the pressure. Brother Nick played for Western Kentucky. Their dad, Nick, was the defensive coordinator for both of them here. Here's Calvin Camp coming to the near side of the field across the 30. And a first down for Camp. Out to the 32-yard line. The redshirt freshman from Hickory.
But look at Chris Brown right there with the pancake block. Bobby Camp just really hiding behind Brown, the big offensive lineman leading the way.
Do see Aaron McAllister. He's on the sideline, helmet on. Benny LeMay, helmet on as well. He did see Benny come off the field after the second play of this drive, but neither player being tended to by trainers or anything right now, so kind of riding Calvin Camp. Trips to the left for Reynolds. Reynolds going to look to throw. He has Quattlebaum wide open, and Quattlebaum goes up to make the catch. Could have been a lot bigger play if the throw was on the money, but Mark Quattlebaum wide open, first down Charlotte.
Well, where were the defenders for the Hilltoppers? Quattlebaum coming across the field, Reynolds finding the open man. But you're right, Bob, if that ball was a little bit lower, he had a lot of room to run, especially with the defenders running down the field with the other wide receivers. there's about 15 yards between the next Hilltopper defenseman.
9th catch of the year for Quattlebaum, puts over 100 yards receiving. Hand off to Camp, spins off one tackle, dive forward to the 49. As we are now under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. A game, I think, going as expected. Two teams that play pretty good defense. And each team forcing a turnover in this game. Western Kentucky, kind of like last week against Marshall, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, after the bye week, got the turnovers but couldn't get points out of them. And got the turnover at midfield, but not able to capitalize on this past drive. Camp going again up the middle. Give them the 48. So a 3rd down and 4.
LeMay coming back in the ball game. Situation on 3rd and 4. I would ride your running back LeMay here. A critical down, averaging 12.8 yards already in this game.
49ers 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. Reynolds throws here near side for Tucker, and he makes the catch. Reynolds was hit hard as he let that ball go. The coverage was there. Roger Cray draped all over Tucker, but somehow Tucker holds on.
There's a slant route, and Tucker just has some innate ability to get inside the defender. And Cray had inside leverage, but Tucker jabbed him towards the outside, then came back inside and shielded him off.
10th play of the drive coming up here for Charlotte, a drive that started back about their own 6-yard line. 49ers come into this game number 2 in the country in time of possession at over 36 minutes. It's a handoff, Benny LeMay inside the 40. Benny still on his feet, down to the 30-yard line. So Benny LeMay having a strong first half for the 49ers.
He's following the big offensive lineman, Chris Brown, Darren Drake pulling there. LeMay just has the ability to kind of stay patient and then hit the gap. Good to see him healthy coming back in the game.
Kyle Bailey with the perhaps touchdown saving tackle. They'll give it right back to LeMay, and the Hilltoppers have that one read. Eli Brown in on the stop, along with Dart. Give Benny 1 yard. 2nd down and 9. 49ers in years past, being here wouldn't mean they're in scoring range, but it is this season with Jonathan Cruz, their freshman kicker. 8 of 9 in the field goal department, including a 54-yarder he made against App State. Reynolds looking to throw, wants it deep. Holding is going to be called on the play, and a smart hold. Rico Arnold got by Ruffin on the double move on the outside. And this holding call will move the ball 10 yards for Charlotte. But sometimes, Jay, there's the smart penalty, and that was the smart penalty.
Before the pass, holding, defense, number 26, 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
But as a defensive back, if you know you're going to get beat, that's the play to make the hold, make sure they don't score a touchdown, because Arnold, he was going to get separation on that double move.
49ers in the red zone this year, 16 of 20, that's 80%. Western Kentucky's defense has surrendered points 13 out of 14 times, but just 6 touchdowns, so under less than 50% on that side. 1st and 10 here at the 19. It's Benny LeMay. Benny still on his feet, coming near side of the field, and he'll get knocked out of bounds. Tough 3 yards by Benny.
Bobby, we haven't called D'Angelo Malone's name. Number 10, the defensive lineman here, and he's getting blocked right there. Now the secondary came up and helped him out, but he's such a good run defender, so athletic, 23 tackles on the season. The offensive line winning that battle up front right now.
5.5 to go in the second quarter on what's been a long drive for the Charlotte 49ers, starting at their own 6-yard line. Hand it off again to Benny LeMay, avoids one tackle, and he'll get maybe to the 16-yard line. This will bring up a long 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 7. About 8 minutes off the clock on this drive.
On the speed of this defense, getting penetration here. And Holt getting in the backfield as well. Bailey, they're flowing in a pack.
Rico Arnold, wide receiver all by himself to the right. They got trips to the left. Victor Tucker, who's been the favorite target for Reynolds. He's the middle wide receiver on the left side. They're going to bring the blitz from the outside. It's picked up, throw over the middle by Arnold, and he can't haul it in. Well, you talked, Jay, about Benny LeMay and the blitz pickup. He did a tremendous job there. And Rico Arnold, who had a couple drops 2 weeks ago against UAB, a big drop there.
Yeah, protecting Reynolds. LeMay is so good to help out in pass protection. And Arnold, he was on the back side there. He had the slant route, an opportunity for a big catch, just not able to come down with it.
33-yard attempt here from Jonathan Cruz. He's missed just one. That one was actually inside 30 yards that he missed. Reynolds is his holder. Snap is there, hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So Jonathan Cruz, 9th field goal of the season. It took over 8 minutes. The 49ers back up by 2. Jonathan Cruz, after a 33-yard field goal, getting ready to kick the football back off to Western Kentucky. 15 plays, 77 yards, 8:31 off the clock. And it results in a field goal, so I don't know, it might be a win-win on both sides. For the 49ers, Jay, you take a lot of time off the clock and take the lead, but for Western Kentucky, you do keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, I think the offensive line, too, gaining a lot of confidence there. Good job pushing the defensive line around, but you're right, the Hilltoppers bending but not breaking, giving up a touchdown.
Short kick, returnable there. Darden able to get it up to the 25-yard line and dropped. 49ers up by 2 with 4:24 to go in the opening half. 4:24 to go in this opening half. Charlotte on top, 9-7. Davis Shanley, I feel like we haven't seen him in 2 hours. Finally back on offense here for the Hilltoppers. And with their last drive stalled out after a holding call on Miles Pate. Well, they would have had a first down to have out the 20-yard line of the 49ers. Shanley going to throw quickly to the outside. That ball going to be caught across the 30. Sloan on the reception. And that's going to be a first down out to the 36.
Well, and Shanley saw the coverage on the outside, changed the play at the line of scrimmage. Then Lucky Jackson, he's really what made that play happen with us blocking on the outside to help out Sloan getting extra yards.
Sloan goes off. Xavier Lane checks in. Lane, a redshirt sophomore, with 6 catches for 51 yards on the season. Under 4 to play in this opening half. It's going to be a handoff. Samuel spins away from one guy, gets across the 40 out to the 41. Joshua Samuel, a couple big runs here in this first half. Averaging 40 yards a game coming into this at 4.8 a pop.
Samuel, one of the many freshmen in the backfield, 3 freshmen that play, running back that get playing time, and coaches feel very good about the talent back there, but they all bring something different to the table. You can just see the moves, the agility, and the ability to make defenders miss with that spin move.
Shanley looking to throw again, has time. Now he's going to tuck it and he's going to run. He's got the first down, slides down at the 48-yard line. So Shanley seeing the seas part, able to pick up the first down. Clock stops as they move the chains. 3:05 and now counting here in this first half.
Well, and Shanley kept his eyes up even as he inched closer towards the line of scrimmage, still kept his eyes up, looking downfield, kind of baited the defenders. And just enough room there, and a good job sliding at the end.
Luke Martin had the hit there that luckily not called for him. There's a throw to the outside. Lucky Jackson's got the catch. And Jackson going to get inside the 45 to the 44. Western Kentucky has 2 timeouts. So plenty of time as they try to get the lead back going into the locker room.
No press coverage. And Shanley just taking the easy, high completion percentage throw there. If the defensive backs are going to play off, they feel confident they can just kind of throw the ball out there and get good yards after the catch.
2nd down and 2. Samuel will get the carry. That's going to be another first down to the 39-yard line. And right now looking pretty easy for the Hilltoppers moving down the field.
For Samuel using his speed to get into the outside, that's his strength. And Foggy was in on the tackle, and so many times you see linebackers, they stay in the box. But Foggy, with his range and his speed, he was playing out on the slot wide receiver out wide. He came in for the tackle.
Now Western Kentucky not quite the same kicking situation as the 49ers. Here's a throw underneath. Hortonberry on the reception, but a short gain to the 36 in Charlotte.
Timeout, Charlotte. They're first.
That surprise you, Jay?
Yeah, it does right now, just with the time left on the clock, 1:34. I think the coaching staff here wants to settle down this defense. They can sense the momentum and the rhythm of the Hilltoppers offense.
Juwan Foggy making the stop. First time out for the 49ers. 49ers did win the coin toss. They deferred. Look at the ball to start the second half. You see one Western Kentucky player way off in the distance heading back to the locker room. Like Quinn Jernigan. Their wide receivers was productive early on in this football game. A name we have not called today, Mike Quandine, redshirt senior, 3 touchdowns already this season. Last time out against Marshall had a touchdown. His first career touchdown came last year against the Charlotte 49ers. In a game Western Kentucky rolled 45-14. Mike White, who's now at the Cowboys, had 398 yards passing in that game. Shanley throws to the outside. That ball's going to be caught, and that's going to be a first down to the 29-yard line. Chris Leach, his second catch.
Leach, 6'6", third tight end, gets a lot of playing time there. He was in the slot. Ran double hitches. Fortenberry was covered, but Leach wide open.
So first down and 10, a minute 15, 2 timeouts. Play action, Shanley. He's got some time now. Tyreek Harris comes in, a flag is thrown. I don't know if this is on the hit or where that flag was thrown. Going to be a hold on the Hilltoppers.
Holding, offense, number 67. Penalties decline. Second down.
And that were, Jay, did you look there?
Charlotte, they're second.
49ers calling another timeout. You see the sack. Tyler Fain also in there, though. But is that one where you look at your quarterback, Jay, and say, eventually you got to, in your head, realize, all right, it's been too many seconds. Let me try to get outside the pocket or make something.
Yeah, it's Seth Jost there. He was battling. I mean, when you've got position and you're holding on, as an offensive lineman, you can only hold on to your block for so long, especially when the quarterback's kind of roving around in the backfield. That's a situation where Shanley, you've got to have that internal clock in your head where, after a couple of seconds, you've got to move outside or you've got to get rid of the football. Bobby, I'll tell you what, though, after that initial interception by Shanley, he's settled down 15 for 18 so far in the ball game, and Coach Sanford really staying with him, giving him confidence to let him play throughout this first half for the most part. Other than a few plays by Thomas coming in the game, he's let Shanley hang in there and kind of rebound from that first big mistake.
By the way, this is an offensive line, very young from Western Kentucky. It's a young football team in general. 15th, the youngest roster in the nation. Second down and 18 after the sack. The 49ers did use their second timeout. 1:05 on the clock here in this first half. Shanley gonna dump it off on the screen. Appleberry on the reception. And he'll get knocked out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So this will bring up 3rd down and 10. Stormy passing along to us. Quinn Jernigan is questionable. Going to be reevaluated at halftime, as we saw him make his way into the locker room early. Jernigan had 3 catches for 11 yards, all that coming early in the game. 10th play of the drive for the Hilltoppers. So after the 49ers went 15 plays and took 8.5 minutes off the clock, Western Kentucky on their own march right now. Final minute of this first half. Shanley gonna fire down the field, and Ben DeLuca with the hit on the far side of the field. Look, that was Sloan, the intended wide receiver. Pass was a bit out of the reach. And nice clean hit by Ben DeLuca.
And DeLuca, he's the playmaker in the secondary, coming up and run support so many times, but we see him there flowing over to the football, laying down the hammer. As a wide receiver, you've got to know where he's at in coverage.
Now Xavier Lane, the intended wide receiver. Ryan Nuss to attempt the field goal, 3 of 6 this year. This one from 46, and we have a flag down. The kick, I believe, was wide right.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Now you got to think, Jay, do you punt the ball? Because that ball, if it had enough distance, it was just at the right distance to get there.
Yeah, it was short, and here in this situation, yeah, I think you would just go ahead and punt the ball, play it safe here.
And they do bring on, well, it's the punter, but this might still be, let's see if they're going to try Ranella here to kick the field goal. So it is their punter, but he's going to try the field goal here. So about a 51-yard attempt. Alex Ranella, the redshirt junior. Snap there, the hold not very good, and Ranella never had an opportunity. So Lambert used his timeouts, and it's going to pay off in his favor because now he's got 45 seconds and still 1 timeout, and the snap looked like it was there. The hold just never put down.
Yeah, and right there, the Hilltoppers, they just didn't look like they had confidence going out there kicking it in. The momentum shifting back to Charlotte there, and Coach Lambert, you said it, Bobby, with the time management here, giving his offense an opportunity with 45 seconds. The hold just not really getting up. It's tough to kick it when the laces are facing at you. Ranella didn't have a chance.
Adam Krause, the freshman, the holder. Refs moved the ball all over the place. Now it is put at the 32. They were backing up to the 20 for a second. So 45 seconds, 1 timeout. Calvin Camp, the running back, to the right of Reynolds. He'll look to throw near side. He's got Tucker on a screen. Tucker got some room across the middle of the field. Still on his feet. A first down across the 45. Out to the 47. Lock stop as they move the chains. Again with Jonathan Cruz, the kicker. You don't have to go a whole lot farther. Now the wind looks like it'd be more into the face of the 49ers here as they attempt the field goal if they do at the end of this half. Reynolds to throw again. He's got all day. Dumps it underneath. Tucker makes the catch, but falling down. And that will force Brad Lambert to use his final timeout. Tucker was wide open. That throw just not on the money from Reynolds.
Yeah, and here an opportunity missed, even though it was caught.
Their final.
It looked like there's a little bit of a miscommunication there. Man versus zone. Tucker slowing down, and Reynolds thought he'd keep running. That's why the ball was a little bit off target.
Second down. About 5 yards here at the 48. Cruz, long of 54 this year. Again, that was against App State. He had won in high school from 55. looking at the flags of each Conference USA school that are to our left, the opposite end zone. Not blowing a ton, but more across and kind of in the face of Cruz. Now there are the flags on the goalpost, not moving a whole lot. As you see there, so I don't know if it would have a huge impact on any kick here from Cruz. 2 wides each side for Reynolds. Camp still the running back. Western Kentucky, 4 down linemen. That's all they'll bring. Reynolds got time, airing it down for Rico. There was a little tug, and they're going to throw the flag. Now the feet got contact, and that technically shouldn't be the foul, but you can see the grabbing of the jersey of Rico Arnold, who's now drawn a couple flags.
Holding, defense, number 2, 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, there was a delay throwing the flag. Devin Key just grabbed him, very blatant, and then the trip came. But Arnold, that could have been a touchdown there if he didn't hold him. And Arnold with his speed, another double move there, was going to break free up the hash.
So the penalty moves it to the 38. There's 23 seconds to go in this half. No timeouts for the 49ers. So things need to be to the outside. If it's short, you probably have to spike it. Set up a field goal. Here's Reynolds again. Gonna go underneath. He's got Tucker. Tucker's got a lot of room down inside the 20-yard line. Steps out of bounds. They pick up about 22 yards on that play. Taking 7 seconds off the clock, and now Jay, at least one opportunity maybe to get it down to the end zone.
Yeah, love the play design here with Tucker coming across the field, going against Holt, the linebacker. A speed mismatch. And Tucker there. Such a gutsy performance today now with this field position. Take a shot towards the end zone.
Tucker, 8 catches, 85 yards. Western Kentucky, by the way, 5 penalties in this half for 45 yards, averaging just 7 a game for 63. You got Tucker and Quattlebaum out to the left. Reynolds under pressure, throws it up for Calvin Camp, gonna fall incomplete. So now 11 seconds, and now you are at the situation here where any pass has to either be at the sideline or into the end zone. And Brad Lambert not going to mess around. Going to send out Jonathan Cruz. So he hit from 33 earlier. He'll try to do it again from the same exact spot on the right hash. And we're going to have a timeout called.
Timeout, Western Kentucky, their second.
Cruz. And his first field goal, Jay, from the same exact spot, it barely slid in that same side of the field.
Yeah, that right upright. Lucky to get that first one in, but hear the cheers from the stands with that timeout being called.
That's always one of the tough things for coaches. You can't take the timeouts with you. And he can call another one if he wants to. And now the 49ers, I believe, are going to bring the offense back in.
Well, the key here is if they run a play, you cannot take a sack. You have to get rid of the ball if you're Reynolds. If you feel pressure, throw it away, get rid of the ball, because if you take a sack, the quarter's over.
And you wonder if you just either do a rollout to the outside so your quarterback's outside the pocket, can throw it away. You're going to have that quick route to the end zone. Now Western Kentucky having to make mass substitutions here, as the field goal defense was still out there. Same formation as the previous play. You got Tucker far out to the left, Quattlebaum in the slot. Orpe Kofa, the lone wide receiver, to the near side. Benny LeMay is the running back. Now Kofa goes in motion, so nobody to the right side of the field. Reynolds looking to throw. Now he's going to fire into the end zone for Quattlebaum, and it falls incomplete. Good coverage on the outside. Darden on the coverage for Western Kentucky, and now Jonathan Cruz will come back out.
I like the 49ers taking a shot here. One-on-one jump ball. Quattlebaum. Darden got his hand in there just enough. Quattlebaum tried to high point the ball.
Still one more timeout. Watching Coach Sanford on that far side has made his way somewhat down to the far official. Now he stopped. He's about 10 yards from him. They'll let it go. Cruz's kick. It is up. And this kick is no good, wide to the right. So Jonathan Cruz, who had made 7 straight, tying a Charlotte record, misses just to the right, and that takes us to halftime. Halftime here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Charlotte 49ers on top of Western Kentucky right now, 9-7. Bobby Rosinski alongside Jay Sonhalter. Jay, not a lot of scoring plays in this first half, but for the 49ers, the one big play was very early, a 35-yard touchdown run by Benny LeMay.
Yeah, first play on offense for the 49ers. They set it up with the run, and LeMay using his speed to the outside, waiting for the hole to develop by the offensive line. He had a great first half. The 49ers, they're going to have to get him more involved. I think he's got to get near that 20 carry mark at the end of this ball game for their goals.
Benny LeMay, 8 carries for 67 yards in that first half. Meanwhile, Jay, when you look at Western Kentucky, Davis Shanley, the quarterback, 16-20, threw the 1 interception early to set up that Benny LeMay score, but after that, looked pretty good.
Yeah, he really settled down. He was very efficient. He threw a lot of short passes, but he did get into rhythm, and they moved the ball very well. They put in a couple wrinkle plays, but he did a good job settling down.
So halftime continues. It's Charlotte on top of Western Kentucky, 9-7.
Yeah. Hey everyone, Maddie Morris here inside the Conference USA studio. Now, I know it's hard to believe because it seems like the season just started, but after this weekend, we're officially halfway through the football season. Honestly, where has the time gone? As we get ready for the second half of the season, let's take a look at next weekend's slate. All 14 schools are in action against each other starting at 1:30 p.m. Central as Marshall hosts Florida Atlantic on CBS Sports Network on Facebook. Other games going on next Saturday include UTSA traveling to Southern Miss. Hey everyone, Maddie Morris here inside the Conference USA studio. Now, I know it's hard to believe because it seems like the season just started, but after this weekend, we're officially halfway through the football season. Honestly, where has the time gone? As we get ready for the second half of the season, let's take a look at next weekend's slate. All 14 schools are in action against each other starting at 1:30 p.m. Central as Marshall hosts Florida Atlantic on CBS Sports Network on Facebook. Other games going on next Saturday include UTSA traveling to Southern Miss at 6 p.m. Central on ESPN+, WKU hosting Old Dominion at 6:30 p.m. Central, also on ESPN+, and North Texas and UAB going at it in an important West Division battle at 6:30 p.m. Central on beIN. To stay up to date on all things Conference USA football related this season, head on over to our website at conferenceusa.com and follow us on our social media. Hey everyone, Maddie Morris here inside the Conference USA studio. After another exciting weekend of football, men's and women's soccer, and volleyball, it's time to take a look at this past week's Conference USA Player of the Week awards presented by Top of the World. This week's Offensive Player of the Week award goes to quarterback Brent Stockstill for the second consecutive week. In his first time suiting up against the Herd in Huntington, the Middle Tennessee graduate QB threw for 317 yards and 2 touchdowns, while also rushing for 31 yards and a score. The 317 yards through the air marked the 16th time Stockstill has thrown for over 300 yards in a single game, and helped him top the 10,000 career yard mark, becoming one of 11 CUSA quarterbacks to achieve the feat. Stockstill's teammate Javante Moffitt is awarded the Defensive Player of the Week honor after his contribution in the Blue Raiders' 34-24 road victory. The senior safety completed a career-high 17 tackles against Marshall, 2 more than his previous record of 15 from last season. He additionally forced a fumble in the first half and anchored a defensive unit that limited the Herd to 149 yards and 7 points in the second half. And this week's Special Teams Player of the Week is Florida Atlantic's Gareth White Jr. The junior kick returner made history last year by returning a kickoff for a touchdown for the first time ever in program history. He did it again this weekend, but this time for 100 yards against Old Dominion, marking the program's longest kick return for a score. White Jr. also tallied a game-high 186 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns in the 52-33 win. In women's soccer, after helping their teams secure crucial conference wins this weekend, the weekly awards go to players from WKU, Old Dominion, and North Texas. WKU's Amber Barnett is this week's Offensive Player of the Week after playing a role in 6 of 8 Hilltopper goals this weekend. First on Friday against FIU, the freshman forward contributed 2 assists while taking 6 shots of her own. She then turned around on Sunday and found the back of the net herself twice, while also assisting on the other 2 Lady Topper goals of the match in the 4-3 win over UTEP. For the first time this season, Old Dominion's Jasmine Crowley is awarded the Goalkeeper of the Week honor. The freshman goalie posted back-to-back shutouts over the weekend, a 4-0 sweep against WKU, followed by a 1-0 win at Middle Tennessee. She made 11 total saves in both games, including a career-high 7 against the Blue Raiders. And North Texas's Dominique James is crowned the Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. The junior defender played the entirety of both games this weekend and anchored a stingy Mean Green defense that posted back-to-back shutout victories. This week's men's soccer awards go to 2 guys who played instrumental roles in helping their teams come away with big wins this weekend. Old Dominion's Max Visrai wins his second Offensive Player of the Week award this season after being involved in 4 of the Monarchs' 7 goals scored this week. First on Wednesday, he assisted twice in the 3-2 win over William and Mary, then followed that up with 2 goals of his own in the 4-1 win over Florida Atlantic. Visrai currently leads the conference with 10 total goals this season, which also ranks amongst the top 15 in the nation. And FIU goalkeeper Daniel Gagliardi is this week's Defensive Player of the Week after the Panthers' huge victory over 4th-ranked Kentucky on Sunday. The senior goalie made 6 saves in the 3-2 win to improve his record to 4-0 in the net this season and 10-1 overall in his career. And this week's volleyball awards go to 2 Golden Eagles as well as 2 Owls, 1 from Rice and 1 from Florida Atlantic. Southern Miss's Kylie Grandy is the Offensive Player of the Week after back-to-back 20-plus kill performances this weekend. First on Friday, she recorded 20 kills in a 3-1 win over Charlotte, then followed that up with a career-high 28 kills against Rice on Sunday. Both of those matches also marked double-double performances for the senior outside hitter, as she contributed 13 digs against the 49ers and 15 digs against the Owls. Her teammate Sarah Bell wins the Defensive Player of the Week after averaging 4.56 digs per set in the Golden Eagles' 2 matches this weekend. She recorded 12 digs Friday against Charlotte, then turned around and posted a career-high 29 digs on Sunday versus Rice. The senior setter also contributed over 50 helpers in both matches for an 11.78 assists per set average. This week's Freshman of the Week award goes to Rice's Anita Adekunle. The freshman middle blocker had a superb day at Southern Miss, tallying a season-high 7 blocks to go along with a season-high 12 kills for a season-high 18 points. Between 2 matches this weekend, she averaged 2.12 kills per set, 1.25 blocks per set, and 3.12 points per set. And for the 4th time this season, Florida Atlantic's Yvonne Martinez is awarded the Setter of the Week award. The senior setter contributed 119 total assists this weekend for a 14.88 assists per set average, with the highlight being a season-high 62 helper performance at North Texas. And make sure to tune into our Conference USA Facebook page every Monday at 3 p.m. Central for our live Player of the Week announcement presented by Top of the World. For Conference USA, I'm Maddie Morris.
Second half about ready to go here in Charlotte with the Charlotte 49ers on top of Western Kentucky. Brad Lambert's team up by 2. What were his thoughts at halftime? Let's send it down to Stormy.
Hey, Bobby, I caught up with Brad Lambert as he came out of the tunnel and brought up how he challenged his guys to come out with a hot start. Obviously, they got that interception and touchdown on the first offensive play, but then they cooled off quite a bit. Asked him what he needs to see more of. He said, really, for us, it's just about finishing drives, especially finishing drives in the red zone overall. He's been pleased. He thinks they played pretty clean. He said if we keep playing pretty clean for the next 2 quarters, we might actually win the game. He said he was really pleased as well with the 3rd down defensive efficiency, holding Western Kentucky just 1 of 4, and that's something he challenges players about before the game as well. He said he needed them to be more intent and intense on 3rd down, and he thinks they've been doing that well.
Thank you, Stormy. Here's the opening kickoff. Aaron McAllister going to return it from the 3-yard line. McAllister up to the 20. And he'll fall forward. Aaron McAllister out to the 25-yard line. And Jay, as you listen to what Stormy had to say there, like I wonder for Matt Lambert, like how do you feel right now, up by just 2, when you probably feel like maybe you should be winning by more?
Yeah, and that feeling, you know, there's some points out on the field that you wish you would have right now. Missed opportunities from the first half, missed field goal, and also a couple plays. It could be a 10-point lead potentially for the 49ers. And here in the second half, this is a statement drive coming out here on offense. And this has to be, for me, the Benny LeMay show. He's got to continue to get more and more carries. We've seen him throughout the season. The more carries he gets, the better he gets. He's already had an outstanding ball game with 67 yards on only 8 carries.
Here's Reynolds, and it will be a quick throw to Victor Tucker. Tucker going to spin off and get near the 30-yard line. 9th catch of the game for Tucker. Going to give him over now 90 yards. And for Mike Sanford in Western Kentucky, Jay, also he can look, missed opportunity. There was the big holding call that wiped out what would have been a first down inside the red zone. Then that last drive right before the end of the first half looked like they were knocking on the door for points, and a sack took about a field goal.
Yeah, and they've had some big plays, and they've been efficient throwing the ball, but not able to convert. And a lot of big play opportunities missed because of those penalties.
Second down and short, handoff Benny LeMay. Get out to the 33-yard line. Will make them 2 yards short of the first down. For the Hilltoppers this year, but about finishing games. Again, 1-4, but 3 losses, each by 3 points. Shaking up 49er. He intended to right now at the 36-yard line. It is Chris Brown, a redshirt senior. Up on his own, but you can see kind of favoring the left leg. Talking about the close games for Western Kentucky. Lost their opener to Wisconsin, but after that had a loss to Maine. They led 21-0 in that game. That was a game where Drew Eccles, their redshirt senior quarterback, hurt his shoulder, has been out since. Eccles is on this trip and is dressed, but not playing. But they led Maine 21-0 and would give up 31 straight points before falling 31-28. Led Louisville 14-3, but ended up losing 20-17. Last week had a lead against Marshall in the fourth quarter, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, after the bye week, and lost 20-17. 3rd and 2. And going up the middle, a missed tackle there. Benny LeMay able to get to the outside. It's a first down. It's a long 4-yard run, but an opportunity missed for the Hilltoppers as they blew through that Charlotte offensive line, but they couldn't bring down Benny LeMay.
Well, Jalen George, number 90, great get off. You'll see him right there splitting the block, but then LeMay just ability to kind of sidestep there and then finish off that run. And that's why he's such a good back, because sometimes there's nowhere to run, but he can still find a way.
That was Nate Davis, who was beaten on the play by George, the redshirt junior. 1st and 10, 49ers. Play action, Reynolds wants to go downfield. It's double coverage, looking for Tucker, the intended wide receiver. And there was nothing there. The Hilltoppers, good coverage on Tucker.
Double fake there by Reynolds. And as a secondary, so many times you'll see those guys bite on those fakes, but they're staying at home, very disciplined, staying back, and nowhere to go for Reynolds there, just throwing the ball deep.
See Chris Brown heading in, was getting worked on in the medical tent. Reynolds thought about throwing it to the near side. Now he tucks and runs. Good forward progress to the 39-yard line. Looked like he did have Benny LeMay. I don't know if Benny would be able to do much with it. And Reynolds slow to get up. Reynolds, the guy who was taking a beating throughout the season.
Well, here, if he would have thrown it to LeMay right then, he would have had an opportunity. But there, the internal clock running forward, getting what he could.
And Reynolds now limps off the field. So Evan Sheriffs, a redshirt junior, Miami transfer, took a couple snaps in the season opening win for the 49ers against Fordham, but that's it. Has not thrown a pass since transferring to Charlotte. Got hurt in the middle of August. then suffered another injury, which has kept him pretty much out of the rotation for the 49ers. Here's his first throw, avoids a sack. Now he fires it to Benny LeMay. Benny's got some blockers. Benny across the 50. He's to the 40-yard line. Out of bounds, down around the 30. Evan Sheriffs, welcome to Charlotte. Avoids the sack, 31 yards.
Look at the offensive lineman. Dominic Taylor, number 75. Davis, 64. Tucker as well. So good blocking out on the perimeter. And LeMay, we see him running the ball, but anytime you can get the ball to him in the passing game, he's dangerous there too, following his blocks for the first down.
Jones, number 34, the redshirt freshman, had the opportunity there, couldn't bring him down. Aaron McAllister, the running back, watching Reynolds on the sidelines. As two trainers, he is walking very slowly, I think heading back to the locker room. Handoff, Aaron McAllister trying to go to the outside. Hilltoppers, the pursuit there, and they're going to drop Aaron McAllister. No gain on the play. And this will bring up 2nd down and 10.
This is where the defense plays to their strength, stringing the ball out. McAllister having to run towards the outside. The strength is the speed. You can see them flowing over to the football to corral him down.
So Reynolds, a guy who's taken a lot of tough hits throughout this season. That one actually didn't look a whole lot to it as he fell forward to pick up a yard, but off to the locker room he goes. 2nd down and 9. Sheriffs, 2 pressure, dumps it off. Aaron McAllister, he's got some room. McAllister to the 15, he's to the 10, down to the 5 goes Aaron McAllister. Ball popped out at the end, but I believe they're saying he's down at the 5. And Evan Sheriff's 2 passes both dump off to the running backs. They've worked out pretty well for him.
Great play calls, tough situation coming into this game, and Sheriff's 2 for 2. Shane Montgomery giving him easy, high completion percentage passes there, and letting the playmakers do the rest after they catch the ball.
3rd trip to the red zone for the 49ers. First one resulted in a 33-yard field goal by Jonathan Cruz. Second one resulted in a missed 33-yard field goal by Jonathan Cruz. Calvin Camp's the running back. It's a handoff to Camp. Camp going up the middle. Camp to the end zone. And they're going to mark him at the 1. More like the 1-inch line for Calvin Camp.
Camp here with a little jump cut, hesitation, and then boom, he hit the hole. It looked like his knee was down right as he reached.
Yeah, good call, I think, from the officials.
Yeah. There's quarterback sneak time. Sheriff 6'5", 210 pounds.
And there you go, Sheriff's quarterback sneak. Sheriff's into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers as they take the opening drive of the second half, and Evan Sheriffs makes his first big mark as a quarterback for the 49ers.
How about coming in cold, executing at a high level, moving your team down the field. You can see the excitement down on the sideline. Sheriffs coming in, picking up his teammate Reynolds, going off on the sideline, and that was a statement drive, just what Coach Lambert talked about with Stormy, coming out here to a hot start in the second half.
Extra point attempt by Jonathan Cruz is up, and it is good. 10 plays, 75 yards, 5:19 off the clock, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Evan Sheriffs. 49ers by 9.
The College Football Playoff Top 25 Rankings Show, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
.9:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 49ers, largest lead of this game at 9 points. Jonathan Cruz to kick the football off. Sloan and Darden back to return. The kick by Cruz. This will go into the end zone. So the Hilltoppers coming back out on offense. They have scored on 2 opening drives in the second half of the season in their 5 games. Got a field goal at Wisconsin and their other 3 drives, 2 of them ended in punts and 1 in a fumble. And right now, Jay, for Mike Sanford and his Hilltopper offense, as they come back out, not necessarily to me you have to get a touchdown, but a field goal and get some momentum back going their way.
Yeah, they need to get confidence. And with the halftime break and then the second quarter where Charlotte dominated the time of possession, it feels like they haven't been out on the field in an eternity.
We'll go no running backs here. And now they'll bring Samuel in motion to go to the left of Shanley. It's a handoff to Samuel, and nothing happening there. A loss of 1 on the play, back to the 24-yard line. Tyreek Harris and Luke Martin in on the stop.
Charlotte defensive line, they played so good all ball game. And Highsmith, number 5, big boost for this defense coming back in this game.
Shanley going to look to throw over the middle of the field. That ball going to be caught by Fortenberry out to the 30-yard line. Fortenberry been a reliable target. Now his 4th catch of the game. Over 20 yards receiving. When Jernigan was shaken up in the first half, he is back out at wide receiver. He's the wide receiver to your closest here to the Charlotte sideline. 1 out of 4 on 3rd downs. They're going to throw, and Shanley was hit by Jawan Foggy. This redshirt senior having himself a day so far. An interception early in the game, a sack, and there a quarterback hit to force an incompletion.
He's been a force. He's been all over the field, pass coverage, pressure, tackling. He does everything there with the blitz up the middle. Glenn Spencer bringing the heat.
That's the 2nd time, Jay, we've seen Samuel miss a block on a blitzing linebacker.
And those running backs, you got to stay in there, and you're going to get a physical hit. And for a freshman, that's the toughest thing, is to get into position and make that key critical block. Right now, they're having trouble with it on the offensive side.
Waddlebaum calls for the fair catch, a 32-yard punt, no return. 8:36 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Evan Sheriffs still in at quarterback with Chris Reynolds shaken up. We'll get an update on Reynolds in just a second after this play. Benny LeMay, the running back. Play action from Sheriff. Sheriff wants to go deep down the field looking for Warpay Kofa. Almost picked off. Good coverage down the field. That pass falls incomplete. Ruffin on the coverage. Sheriff's now in with Reynolds shaken up. For more on the 49er redshirt freshman quarterback, let's send it back down to Stormy.
I saw Chris Reynolds walk right past me on his way to the locker room earlier. His face looked extremely shaken up, wide-eyed. He had a confused and sad look on his face as he kind of limped off the field. But the trainers told me they were just taking him back to the locker room. It was an ankle. He's questionable. They wanted to get an x-ray in there and then bring him back out. Not sure the status of where he will be afterwards. And also just an update on Chris Brown. He had his left ankle taped up, but he's good to go.
Thank you, Stormy. And we did see Reynolds just off camera walking to the locker room. It was a slow walk for him. Sheriff's going to throw again. He's got Warpay Kofa. That's a 1st down across the 50-yard line. And one thing to watch, Jay, is we know that the relationship Reynolds and Tucker, how does that change now with Sheriffs in a quarterback?
Yeah, and whenever you have a new quarterback come in the game, there is a little bit of different cadence to it, rhythm, everything, but that's why you have to develop those relationships in practice. It's so important. But Sheriff's, he's come in here, he's firing away. His strength is his arm strength. Coach Montgomery opened up the playbook here, let him take shots down the field.
16-yard reception for Warpay. Here's Benny LeMay. Benny going up the middle across the 45. Able to carry to the 40-yard line. 7-yard pickup on 1st down by LeMay.
And Bobby, we've talked about the offensive linemen making some nice blocks on the perimeter, pass protection, but I've just been so impressed overall with this offensive line's play today. Sheriffs has come in, he's had plenty of time to throw the ball, opening up holes for LeMay. The biggest thing is they're getting pushed up front, but they're playing so hard and staying low on their blocks.
2nd down and 3. They'll go right back to Benny LeMay and a nice open field tackle. That's Darden on the stop. The redshirt junior, 33 tackles coming into this game. And he's able to stop Benny from getting a 1st down to bring up 3rd and 2.
Well, this play looked like it was going to go towards the right side, but then LeMay cut it back. And the hardest thing as a defender is an open field tackle when it's one-on-one situation. And LeMay usually wins that when there's room, but there Darden was able to trip him up.
49ers 4 of 7 on 3rd downs. It's 3rd and 2. And it's a handoff. Benny LeMay's got the 1st down and more. LeMay inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
The Hilltoppers, they brought the blitz. Devin Key, number 2, right here, right off the end, almost able to get to LeMay, but LeMay quickly hit the gap there. And then with Key coming up at the line of scrimmage, no safety help over the top. So that second level of the defense, there was room to run.
13 carries, 93 yards now for Benny LeMay. Came into this game 3rd in Conference USA in rushing. They'll send Warpay in motion, hand it off again to Benny LeMay. Benny's got some room, down to the 20-yard line. 8 yards on first down for LeMay.
Darren Drake, number 60. Dominic Taylor, 75. The offensive line again, getting outside. LeMay just following those big guys. LeMay showing his patience. Just waiting for the line to set up the blocks and then attacking it.
So now over 100 yards in the game for Benny LeMay. 49ers right at that red zone again. Here's Benny LeMay. That's going to be another first down to the 15-yard line. 49ers, prior to that carry, 129 yards on the ground today. Came in averaging 127. Western Kentucky's rush defense allowing 162. That was 6th in Conference USA. And Western Kentucky had the ball control advantage in the first quarter, but ever since that 8.5-minute drive, it's been all 49ers. Here's Benny LeMay again, inside the 10. And right now, Jay, they are just picking up chunks of yards on first down.
And they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. They're wearing down the defensive line. This offensive lineman getting to the next level, getting up from their double team blocks to the linebackers. Just wearing down this defense. You know, we talked at the half about LeMay, 8 carries, already 16 here midway through the third quarter. The importance of him really carrying the load, the best offensive player and the coaching staff giving it to him.
4th trip in the red zone for the 49ers. They're 2 of 3. Here's Benny LeMay again. Stands on his feet. LeMay to the end zone. Touchdown. Benny LeMay from 9 yards out. And the 49ers extend the lead to 22-7.
And LeMay, he's had so many great runs today. But when you see your star player finishing off a run like this, it just shows you how bad he wants it, how resilient he is, and how he's refusing to be denied getting into the end zone. He capped off that drive in a big way.
Extra point attempt from Jonathan Cruz. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So for the second time today, Benny LeMay finds pay dirt, and the Charlotte 49ers now lead by 16. 4:20 left in this third quarter. Jonathan Cruz getting ready to kick the football back off. 49ers with a 16-point lead right now, 23-7. And this one will go through the end zone. Checking out Conference USA scoreboard right now. Old Dominion, the next opponent for Western Kentucky. Marshall right now leading Old Dominion 21-3 in the third quarter. Charlotte 49ers next game will be next week on the road at Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee taking on FIU. That game tonight at 7:30. We have 2 finals today in the conference. UAB continues to look good. They beat Rice 42-0, and North Texas a winner over Southern Miss 30-7. That scoring drive for the Charlotte 49ers, 9 plays, 62 yards, 4:16 off the clock. Last 7 plays were all runs by Benny LeMay. The drive started incompletion from Evan Sheriff and a completion for 16 to Warpay. And the last 47 yards all on the ground by Benny LeMay. Shanley going to throw to the outside. It's picked off. Jawan Foggy, the senior, having himself quite a homecoming.
Yeah, he's been amazing. In coverage there, he kind of just baited Shanley into throwing the ball in the flat. And he does it all for this defense. The big plays, using his speed, that is his strength. We'll see him in coverage here. Fake handoff, and Shanley throwing out in the flat to Sloan. He just undercut it. Great recognition, reading the eyes of Shanley and jumping in for the interception.
Fourth interception of the year for Juwan Foggy. Second one in this game. Picked off a pass on the opening drive. 49ers scored the first play after that, a 35-yard touchdown run by Benny. This one actually better field position at the 27. Aaron McAllister checking in at running back. Evan Sheriff's in for an injured Chris Reynolds. And he'll hand the ball off. Rico Arnold here coming near side of the field. Arnold will get inside the 25. Kincaid on the stop for the Hilltoppers at the 24-yard line. Evan Sheriffs took over midway through the opening drive of the second half and had a big dump-off pass to Benny LeMay on a third down on his first play. Sheriffs would eventually end that drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. So he had, I think, one snap in the season opening game against Fordham, but just at the end of the game. In his first real reps right now for the 49ers. They'll hand it off again to Aaron McAllister. He's got some room to the outside. He makes a nice cut. Aaron McAllister, touchdown, Charlotte. 24 yards, and it is 29-7.
Well, McAllister just letting his offensive line go to work. The captain, Cameron Clark, he led the way, number 71 here on the left side. Look at this block, clearing out the path, finish it off with the pancake. Then it was McAllister just jetting off towards the end zone. Chris Phillips, the tight end, also on that side, doing a nice job. The running back tandem with McAllister, LeMay, really taking over control here in the third quarter.
Extra point by Cruz is good. McAllister's second touchdown of the season. And the 49ers now with a 23-point lead. The 49ers have scored the last 24 points in this game. That scoring drive, 2 plays, 27 yards. And now you wonder, Jay, I mean, is it worth it looking at a quarterback switch on the opposite side for Mike Sanford?
Yeah, I think you've got to create a spark for your team, and they've come into this game with so much confidence in all their quarterbacks. 4 quarterbacks that have played snaps this season. And right now, things not going your way, and you've got to give your team a chance. Put in one of your other quarterbacks to give them an opportunity to see if they can move the ball. The other thing is, this is a young team with this huge deficit. How are they going to react? And they haven't reacted well coming out of the half.
I saw Davis Shanley still on that sideline talking with all the offensive players, trying to give them motivation as they come back out onto the field. There's still plenty of time left in this football game. You look at it, 18:25 total game time to go. And still just a 3-score game. As this kick by Cruz goes into the end zone. And now you're at the point earlier, Jay, where I mentioned, the first drive of the second half, I didn't think they had to go down and get a touchdown, even a field goal. Now, not only a touchdown, but you do feel like you need to take a little bit of time off the clock. You don't want to take off too much because you need the ball back, but that Western Kentucky defense, as you talked about with Benny LeMay, just starting to wear down the Hilltoppers on the defensive side.
Yeah, and they've really just been pushed back. And the offense here coming out on the field, they got to get something going because their confidence is shot right now. And I've been in a huddle down there when things aren't going your way. There's no rhythm to it. And it's tough, but somehow you've got to create a spark. You need a big play. But you're right about the defense. They've just kind of gotten rolled over. The 49ers have committed to the run game. They've showed their strength up front.
LaFrance in at running back. Shanley is still the quarterback. They send Dean in motion. And now you got a false start. Sloan here on the near side of the field.
False start. Offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
6th penalty of the game on Western Kentucky. Sloan, really a big reason Western Kentucky got their 1 touchdown earlier on in the game. It ended up being a touchdown run by Thomas. But Sloan had 2 great catches on that drive. 1st and 15 now after the penalty. Appleberry back in at running back. And they'll go play action. Shanley over the middle. Too high, almost picked off again. Guess who was waiting for it? Mr. Juwan Foggy in for more on the redshirt senior and the energy he has in this game. We'll send it back down to Stormy.
Well, Bobby, right before that last interception, he was on the headset talking with somebody upstairs and was all smiles right before he ran out onto the field. And rightfully so. You know, he's got 2 interceptions, a sack, and making his way all over the field. Brad Lambert, even after the interception, came over to the defensive huddle just to give him a hug and tell him that he was doing great. But those defensive coaches, Glenn Spencer and company, said next series is all I want to think about. So this is where their eye is right now.
Here's a shovel pass. It was caught by Dean. It's going to be a loss of a yard. Luke Martin, I think, in on the stop. This dance move coming off the field. I'm assuming Luke Martin's in on the stop.
Well, there's Foggy there coming up and run support as well, forcing Shanley to pitch his ball. See 21 Foggy there, forced to flip.
Tyler Fain in on the stop as well. Jeff Gemmel. Juan Foggy, by the way, a redshirt senior, but first couple of years was on the offense for the 49ers, a wide receiver. But went into the coach's office, made the switch to defense last year, and you're seeing it really transition here in his second year. Here's Shanley going deep down the field, looking for Sloan. Incomplete. Pass way off the mark. If it was on the money, might have been able to get past interference. It looked like Gibbs, the DB, was kind of turned around.
Yeah, there's an opportunity there, but just not accurate on the throw. And for Foggy, how many linebackers do you see that excel in coverage and also coming up on the blitz run support? He's really a well-dimensional player. And on the previous play where he almost got the interception, he backpedaled, looked like a defensive back, 6'1", 234. It's very rare from a linebacker.
Here's the punt, 4th of the day for the Hilltoppers. Quattlebaum going to be able to return this one. He's got some room here to the near side of the field, but a nice tackle made. And Rogers Anderson, just down the road in Sumter, South Carolina, making the tackle there on Quattlebaum. But look at Western Kentucky, since they took the lead 7-6, a punt, missed field goal, took 1 snap to go to the locker room at halftime, then a punt, interception, and now punt again. 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. Charlotte's offense coming into this game, 338 yards. Already past that. We're not even here at the end of the third quarter with 366. Calvin Camp now in at running back. We've seen Benny LeMay score twice, Aaron McAllister once. They'll hand it off to Camp. And the Hilltopper D-line able to stand Camp up. Pick up 1 to the 44.
This is where Charlotte, you feel the opposing team kind of reeling. They come out to a fast start here in the second half. This is where you want to continue to keep your foot on the gas pedal. And also an opportunity with the success on the ground with Sheriff's strong arm. I think you're going to have some opportunities in the play action game as well. Throw the ball over the top.
They'll hand it again off to Camp, and a nice tackle. There's Holt, Ben Holt, a redshirt sophomore. I haven't been able to call his name much in this game, Jay, but you're talking about a young player, but a captain of this football team, a guy we were talking with some Western Kentucky people before the game, just a guy that loves the game of football.
Yeah, he's a hammer in the middle of the defense. See his ability to recognize the play, then shoot the gap. He came in actually as a walk-on fullback, switched over the defensive side of the ball, a quarterback on the defense, a captain, and only a sophomore.
Third down and 9. Sheriff's going to look to throw. Going to lob it. He's got Calvin Camp wide open. Did he stay in bounds and make the catch? He did. A wheel route, and Calvin Camp was wide open.
They brought the blitz. The Hilltoppers brought the house against Sheriffs. He stood strong in the pocket. And how about the touch here with pressure in his face, lofting the ball over the top just inside the sideline, and Camp coming down with it.
19-yard reception by Camp. So Evan Sheriffs finding his running back so far. He's 4 out of 5. He's hit Benny LeMay, McAllister, and Camp. Plus 1 completion to Warpay Kofa. Here's Calvin Camp coming near side of the field, and he's going to be hit and dropped. That was Ruffin on the stop. likely bring us to the end of the third quarter in what was a great quarter for the 49ers, not so much for Western Kentucky. Touchdown runs from Benny LeMay, Evan Sheriffs, and Aaron McAllister, all in the third quarter. So a 9-7
That's the end of the third quarter.
Has been extended to 30-7. Back with the fourth quarter after this. The running game on full display in the third quarter, including that touchdown run from Aaron McAllister. 3 touchdown runs for the 49ers in that quarter. Evan Sheriffs, Benny LeMay, and then that one from McAllister. Here's Calvin Camp trying to join the party. Get inside the 35. Shoving going on after the play. 49ers came into this game number 2 in the country in time of possession. And they're on their way to adding to that as they've had the ball now over 29 minutes. For Western Kentucky, 16 minutes and 15 seconds. And I believe the first quarter was Western Kentucky a little over 8 minutes. So they've had the ball just about 8 minutes the last 2 quarters of football.
Charlotte's been able to protect the ball, not only holding on to it, but being efficient and not turning the ball over has been key.
Western Kentucky, 2 turnovers in this game. 49ers had 1. Hassan Klue fumbling. But the Hilltoppers not able to score off that. Here's Sheriff's going to throw near side. That one way too high, falls incomplete. Now a decision for Brad Lambert. In field goal range with Jonathan Cruz. And he is saying field goal. He's going to send the field goal unit out. So big play here. Jackson Van Sickle will be the holder. Chris Reynolds, the normal holder. Reynolds, the quarterback, got hurt in the third quarter, so Sheriffs took over. So we'll watch the exchange here. 52-yard attempt from Cruz. The kick is up, and it is good. Jonathan Cruz from 52 yards out. The chants of Cruz throughout the stadium, and the 49ers now up. You see the 49er defense, Juwan Foggy, number 21. Been leading the way for this 49er football team today. Jonathan Cruz just making what they officially recorded here at 51 yards. 7 plays, 23 yards, 3:26 off the clock. And the 51-yard field goal by Cruz. This kickoff will go into the end zone. And Sloan will take a knee. So the Hilltopper offense coming back out onto the field. Western Kentucky on the year averaging 378 yards. About 200 yards less so far in this game with 189.
Shanley coming back out in the ball game. Haven't seen Stephen Duncan. Other than a few plays by Kavaris Thomas in the first half. And Shanley taking over control here.
So 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Samuel, the running back. Shanley going to throw it out to Samuel. Fights off one tackle, gets across the 30. So 6 yards by Samuel on first down. That field goal was important in a lot of ways for the 49ers, but in one is it does make this a 4-score game, because previously it was just 3. You need a couple 2-point conversions, but still you could see a door open for Western Kentucky. Quick throw here to Lucky Jackson. Jackson pretty much dancing at the line. He'll fall forward. Give him 2 to the 33. So now 3rd down and 2. The Toppers just 1 of 6 on 3rd downs. And they'll bring in Thomas. We have not seen for a while, Jay, but he was having an impact when he was out there back in that opening quarter.
3rd and short here, 250 pounds. This is his time to pound the ball here, try to pick up this first down. I expect him to carry the ball.
And he will, and Alex Highsmith was right there, and the 49ers stand him up. Jeff Gemmel helping to clean it up, but I believe that was Alex Highsmith who kind of spun off his block and was able to meet Thomas, and now 4th down. And right now the Hilltopper offense looks like it's going to stay on the field.
Just a great play by Highsmith, going one-on-one with Myquan Dean, the tight end. We'll see him down the bottom of the screen there. Dean tried to seal him in, and then just the innate feel by Highsmith doing a turn there.
Timeout. Charlotte, their first.
So Brad Lambert will use a timeout with Western Kentucky realizing where they are in this game. The ball control of the Charlotte 49ers, knowing they cannot give the ball back without any points. Western Kentucky 4th down conversions this year, 2 of 8. That is 13th in Conference USA. The 49er defense has been good in these situations, as they've had 8 attempted against them and have only given up 1. That is 2nd in Conference USA. But Jay, it feels like the call Mike Sanford has to make here with just 12:16 to go.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive, and if you want to have a chance in this ball game, you've got to trust that your team can convert here. And depending on which quarterback comes in the game, kind of expect 2 different play calls here for the 49ers defense. If Shanley's here coming in, I expect them to throw a short, quick route, and he is coming into the ball game here. So I'd look for Lucky Jackson. We've seen him have some success with quick out routes. He's lined up in the slot. They do not want to face the blitz by the 49ers defense.
They go pistol formation. Now Sloan will go in motion to the far side of the field. 4th down and 4. Pressure coming from Gemmel. He'll throw, and it is incomplete. Lucky Jackson was the intended wide receiver. I don't even know if he would have caught the ball if it would have been a first down. But a turnover on downs. 49er defense stands tall. Charlotte. 49er offense on the field for the 5th time of the second half. Previous 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and a field goal. There's going to be a handoff going up the middle. Not much happening there. Maybe to the 30-yard line. Let's send it back down to the 3rd member of our team, and that's Stormy.
Bobby, in talking to Western Kentucky head coach Mike Sanford yesterday, he's got to be so disappointed with what he's seeing on the field in terms of his keys to the game, which were to have no giveaways and to start fast and finish strong. He said his word of the week to his players was resolve, and for him that message was to come in here and say no matter what, you have to have the determination and confidence that you're going to win this game and no one is going to outplay us. It's got to be pretty stressful for him on the sideline.
High shot Finger getting a carry. And that's going to be a first down. It's a 49er player shaken up at the 21-yard line. Finger, the 4th running back in this game.
Timeout.
68.
For injury.
Jalen Fisher landing hard. Finger, a freshman running back from Gastonia, just 5'6", a $170. We'll take a timeout as Fisher walks off on his own path. First down and 10. '49ers at the 21-yard line. Fisher able to walk off on his own power. It's a handoff again to Finger here coming near side of the field. And he gets down to the 17-yard line, about a 3-yard pickup.
Western Kentucky still playing very hard. Holt in the middle of that defense. He's the captain. They've been on the field a lot here in this ball game, especially the second half, but they're still flying around, running the football. Charlotte here, some of the reserves in the ball game here, trying to finish off this drive in the red zone. Sheriffs to go under center.
49ers 4 out of 5 in the red zone in this game. They'll hand it off again to Finger, going up the middle. And he'll get to the 14-yard line to bring up a 3rd down. Chris Reynolds has been ruled out for the rest of this football game, and it'll be interesting keeping an eye on Reynolds' status. 49ers will be back in action next Saturday as they take on Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders off to a good start this season. Third down, say 4 to go. One wide out to the right. And Sheriffs will hand it off to Finger, and he's going to be met by Holt. Finger able to get to the 14-yard line. And now 4th down. And they're going to send back on Jonathan Cruz. Cruz 2 for 3. Making a kick earlier this quarter from 51. Also made from 33, missed from 33 right at the end of the first half. 10 of 12 here in his freshman season.
Timeout, Charlotte. Their second. It will be 30 seconds.
And the 49ers going to use a timeout. Second timeout of the second half for the 49ers. For Western Kentucky, and Jay used the line earlier, 1-4 to be a lot better than that record indicates, with the 3 very close losses they've had. Today obviously not gone the way Mike Sanford thought it would go for his football team, and they'll get ODU next. ODU been struggling this season, so a winnable game you'd think for the Hilltoppers. But what has to have Coach Sanford so excited, one of the youngest coaches in FBS, is just the youth of this football team. This is an extremely young Western Kentucky team that, despite the down year they're currently having, you would expect they'll be right back at it these next few years.
So they have talent, and they're gaining experience, and with those tough losses, they're going to learn how to overcome that.
Cruz's kick is blocked. And it goes right into the hands of a Hilltopper. It's the ball out to the 30-yard line. Roger Cray, he caught it. In those situations, you're almost wondering if a guy can take it to the house. See if we get a replay of see who got his hands on this one. And like that was 18 maybe?
18. Keyshawn McClendon.
He had some ups there.
He got a good vertical. I'll tell you though, the sign of a team playing hard and showing effort is on an extra point or a field goal block. When you're down 33-7, you still have guys flying around, putting forth that effort. This is a team that isn't giving up.
1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers here at the 30-yard line. And it's a fumble, loose on the ground. I think the 49ers got it. Jeff Gimmel, wearing number 49 today, recovers the fumble as Shanley just lost it.
Gimmel, you see the excitement. The linebackers playing so good today, wearing that 49. Sprinted over to a seat, first man down there. How about the turnovers? Foggy and Gimmel creating big opportunities for their offense. Get the ball in great field position throughout the day.
They had a turnover book bag early on in the year. I've not seen that today so far. There you see Shanley just losing the ball. Alex Highsmith on the pressure. So the 49er offense back out on the field. Calvin Campen at running back. And Camp tracked down at the 28-yard line. So for Western Kentucky, see what they do with the quarterback position moving forward. Again, Drew Eccles, their redshirt senior, who's been out since week 2, is on this trip. He's dressed on the sidelines for the Hilltoppers. So making progress from his shoulder injury. Second down and 8. Sheriff's got time. Now he's going to tuck it, and he's going to run. And tripped up and dropped at about the 22. So bring up a 3rd down and 2.
The Sheriff's, for a big guy, he can move pretty well. And here, feeling pressure a little bit, nobody open, just that internal clock to get out of the pocket, get what you could, and make a very manageable 3rd and short situation.
3rd turnover of the day for Western Kentucky. First 2 turnovers resulted in quick touchdowns. TD runs by Benny LeMay and Aaron McAllister. Here's a handoff. Camp again going up the middle. Bounces off. Calvin Camp to the 14-yard line. So the redshirt freshman trying to find his first collegiate touchdown.
A great job here, staying on his feet with his balance, staying low, bouncing off. And then finally, Darrell Green made the tackle. And Green, first time we've called his name, Coach Lambert was really impressed with him, highlighted him during the week with his play on the defensive side. But again here, this 49ers offense really controlling the line of scrimmage, and all of their running backs getting great experience here today.
First down and 10 at the 14-yard line. Camp again. There was Holt on the stop. Second down and 8 for Charlotte. 49ers again next week on the road, taking on Middle Tennessee. And what's been impressive, we'll see where the numbers end up today, Jay, but they came into this game 2nd in the nation time of possession, 36 minutes and 31 seconds. And so far today, racking up another big number on that side. And off again, Camp. Flag is down. Camp gets inside the 10-yard line. That was the 70th play of the game for the 49ers. Western Kentucky just 45.
Illegal formation, offense, 5-man in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
So penalty against the 49ers is the 2nd one they've had in this game. The 49ers on the ground have ran the ball 44 times, 8 different guys with carries, 216 yards. Benny LeMay, the starter, 17, 121, 2 touchdowns. Calvin Camp, who's been getting a lot of the work here in the 4th quarter now, 12 carries for 38 yards. Sheriffs will go shotgun. They send Quattlebaum in motion. Sheriffs looking to throw. He's going to be dropped back at the 28-yard line. George with the sack for the Hilltoppers.
George, we've called his name a couple times with his penetration, getting into the backfield with his first step quickness. It was right up the middle, unblocked. He shot through there. Sheriffs, not really much time at all to turn and try to get rid of that ball.
So now all of a sudden, 3rd and 24. Sheriff's going to throw. He's got time, fires near side. That's caught by Rico Arnold. Spins away. Arnold, touchdown, 49ers. Evan Sheriff's his first touchdown pass as a member of the Charlotte 49ers.
And Sheriff's has a clean pocket here. You can really see his arm strength. Threw a dart over to Arnold. See the offensive line again, all day protection up front. It's an out route, then Arnold, yards after the catch, so important as a wide receiver, not only catching the ball, but then making something happen, and then a quick spin move, missed tackle, easily getting into the end zone.
Extra point by Cruz is up, and it is good. So with 5:08 to go, and what has been a domination in the second half of the Charlotte 49ers. As they have now scored the last 34 points in this game. The last 31 have come in the second half. That scoring drive, 6 plays, 30 yards, 4:04 off the clock. 28-yard touchdown pass from Sheriff's to Rico Arnold. So the 49ers on their way to improving to 3-3 and 2-1 in the conference. This will be the third home win of the year for the 49ers. Played their first 3 here at home, beat Fordham, would lose to App State before knocking off Old Dominion, a game that was moved up because of Hurricane Florence. Originally scheduled for a Saturday, they moved it up to a Thursday. And it was actually the next week, Jay, when Old Dominion shocked kind of the college football world, one of the bigger ones we've seen, beating Virginia Tech.
That, looking back on it at the time, we didn't really realize how good of a win that was. But after seeing that huge victory, shows a lot about Charlotte in that game. And they won it by 3, but they really could have even won it by about 10 to 13 points. Then a couple of the losses here the past couple weeks, Bobby, really painted a spotlight on this game for both of these teams, but for Charlotte here at home to come away with a dominating performance. You can just see the confidence growing throughout this game. And really, after the bye week, kind of the ability to self-scout yourself, work on things, work on fundamentals, get guys healthy, and come out and perform like you did today. Took a big step as far as their progress goes this season.
You look at UAB. Beat Charlotte last week, or 2 weeks ago, off the bye, 28-7. Then beat Louisiana Tech 28-7. Beat Rice today, 42-0. So it's a team that's given up 2 touchdowns their last 3 games. See Duncan in at quarterback, and he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage. So the redshirt sophomore Stephen Duncan, who played the entire game last time out against Marshall, first snap of this game.
And for Western Kentucky, in their quarterback room, they've got a lot of talent. Even though they played 4 quarterbacks this season, here's a deep route.
And that pass broken up, but we're going to get a pass interference call. A.J. McDonald, the defensive back for the 49ers. And this is where always the debate, Jay, of the NFL rule or the college rule of pass interference. Because the NFL, you're getting the ball at the 35-yard line of Charlotte's side.
Illegal substitution, defense, 5-minute formation. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 41, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I personally kind of like the college football rule a little bit better than the NFL because I think at times things can get bailed out and you don't know whether call's correct or not. But no doubt about this one, as McDonald not turning around, making contact there with Pearson, the wide receiver, before the ball got there.
Well, I agree with you with the rule. I like the college rule better because you're right. There could be a missed call in the NFL, and it can change the field position very quickly. It's not one play.
1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers here at the 40-yard line. Duncan going to look to throw again, and that ball going to be caught. Coverage was right there. That's Pearson again, first down across the 50-yard line, and a Charlotte player down on the field.
Timeout for injury.
Ja'Cour Pearson, who drew the pass interference, had Luke Martin all over him, able to make that catch. And that is Michael Holmes, number 14. A redshirt junior, getting shaken up on the play. You see him now sitting up right now. Conference USA scoreboard right now. Again, 2 finals earlier today. Mentioned UAB, their win over Rice, 42-0. North Texas knocked off Southern Miss 30-7. In progress right now, as they're under 6 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Marshall is leading Old Dominion 28-13. Holmes able to get up on his own and make his way over to the Charlotte 49ers sideline. Top 25 today in college football. A nail-biter took place in South Bend. I don't know if anyone expected this to happen, but Notre Dame survives a 4th quarter touchdown. They get past Pittsburgh 19-14. One of the more stunners of the day happening in Auburn, Tennessee. picking up the win over Auburn 30-24. And UCF, by the way, taking on Memphis. The Knights, number 10 in the country, right now up by just 1 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Here's a throw down the far sideline. That ball going to be hauled in. Guess who? Pearson again. And a first down for the Hilltoppers inside the 30.
Duncan, such a strong arm there. That was a rope firing it in there. And I was talking a little bit earlier about the strength of their quarterbacks. 4 different quarterbacks have played, but Duncan, with his arm strength, his ability to throw the ball deep down the field, you've seen it here the first couple plays.
Duncan avoids the pressure, throws. That ball going to be caught by Sloan. Avoids the first hit. Dropped at about the 20-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play. Charlotte and a lot of more of their second, third teamers getting reps here in these final minutes. Here's Stephen Duncan looking to throw again. That ball going to be dropped. Pearson looked like he had it about the 5-yard line. Duncan threading the needle. There were 3 49er defenders there.
And that's what you can do when you've got a strong arm. You can take some chances, some risks, throwing it into coverage. Duncan there coming into the game, firing away.
Appleberry Jr. is the running back on 3rd and 1. They'll throw it here on a quick pass out. It's going to be a first down. Lane on the reception. So first down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Lane, the wide receiver, to the outside. They're going to throw it back to Sloan, and he's going to fall down, and that was a nice play. Christian Hayes is blocking his wide receiver, and it happened to just take out Sloan.
And they're just getting his hands inside, forcing him into Sloan, and it looked like a little trip knocked him down.
Duncan throwing near sideline. That ball caught Pearson. Down to the 7-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. Third down and 1. Duncan going to throw to the outside, and that's incomplete. And we're going to get pass interference in the end zone. DJ Anderson, the corner. Lane, the intended wide receiver. Throw was off, but I did think contact was there. Now, whether he would have caught the ball or not, probably not. But DJ Anderson making some contact.
Pass interference, defense, number 20. The ball we spotted at the 2-yard line. Automatic, first down.
And it looked like here, if Anderson would have looked up a little bit earlier, he could have potentially picked this ball off because he was looking out at Lane instead of looking for the ball. He could have jumped in front there. I'll show you, that just goes to show you, though, the arm strength of Duncan. Throwing the ball across the field on an out route. Coaches have confidence that he can hit the wide receivers on a deep route.
Good call there by the officials, so 1st and goal at the 2. Duncan going to throw here to the near side for Lane. Did he one-hand it and haul it in? No, they're going to say out of bounds. Xavier Lane. And we have a flag down on the far side of the field.
See here, one-on-one.
Elijah ran downfield, number 82. He was covered up in formation. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
So Chris Leach.
Correction, replay 1st down.
Penalty on him. They'll back him up 5 yards. Still 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Appleberry Jr. is the running back. Throw here, incomplete for Lane.
For the Hilltoppers here, offensively, just not the ball game they were expecting coming in here on the road. But if they can cap this drive off, try to get a little bit of momentum, get a good feeling to close out this ball game with Duncan. And he's gotten playing time in previous ball games, starting against Marshall a couple weeks ago. You're trying to finish off this drive.
We'll go 5 wides. Nobody in the backfield. Appleberry Jr. is up top. The throw over the middle for Sloan falls incomplete. So now a 3rd and goal from the 70-yard line. They'll go 2 wides each side, with Appleberry Jr., the running back, to the right of Duncan. Got time, fires to that far corner of the end zone. Is it hauled in? Looked like it is, yes! Touchdown, Hilltoppers. Steven Wichkowski with the touchdown reception on a beautiful throw from Duncan.
I mean, outstanding throwing it over the top. Wichkowski, I mean, that's about as good as a catch as you'll see, with the focus over the shoulder, bringing it in and able to get his feet in bounds. Duncan, just an excellent throw, even a better catch by the tight end.
Definitely makes a flight home a little bit better on a play like that. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. So 1:55 to go here in the 4th quarter. Charlotte on top 40-14. That snaps 34 straight points from the 49ers. 11 plays, 75 yards, 3:13 off the clock. 70-yard touchdown pass there. Duncan was 7 of 10 for 60 yards throwing the football.
Well, Duncan, he just got into a rhythm there. And for Western Kentucky, you know, with all these quarterbacks that have experience, they all bring something different to the table. But at some point, they need one of them to step up and really take control of this offense and also this team. When you're dealing with young players, especially quarterbacks, the progression, the improvement comes at different speeds, but they really need somebody to be a leader out there and really be the man in the huddle. And you know, Shanley did some good things, very accurate here today, 20 for 29. The offense just couldn't get rolling, and there with Duncan coming in the game, you can see his arm strength, his ability to find the open receiver there. Beautiful pass on the touchdown.
So Western Kentucky, see if they go onside kick. Hassan Klug, if they do kick it off, is the lone person back for the 49ers at about the 20-yard line. Hassan, the quarterback for Charlotte the past year and a half. Chris Reynolds won the job in the spring and in the fall to become the guy. It's a short kick. Rico Arnold calls for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 34-yard line. So with 1:55 to go, 49ers here going to win on homecoming back-to-back years. It was their lone win last season when they knocked off UAB in overtime, and as Hassan Klug comes out onto the field, it was actually a trick play that the 49ers ran in overtime last year to get that win, as UAB had scored and Charlotte answered back. Instead of kicking the extra point, went for 2, and it was where the snap went to a running back, pitched it to a wide receiver, and then the wide receiver would hit Hassan Klug for the 2-point conversion.
Timeout, Western Kentucky. It will be 30 seconds.
Sanford does call a timeout here with it 40-14, a minute 49 to go. As the 49ers ran it up the middle there for 2 yards. This is 100 years of Western Kentucky football. First season was back in 1913. Did not play a few different years because of World War I and World War II. But a football program that's been one of the best, and you could say the best, in Conference USA since 2011. The most wins in the conference since that year. Now Marshall, if they hold on today against Old Dominion, will tie Western Kentucky with 60 wins. Louisiana Tech also right there as well with 58, but a place that has seen coaches move on. Willie Taggart, Jeff Brom, another one. And you look at Mike Sanford, Jay, another young coach, talked about his age, second youngest in Division I.
Well, he's a great recruiter, and with all of his experience, he knows how to identify talent. And then here, trying to build this program up. When you lose a star quarterback like Mike White, last season starter, now with the Cowboys, your roster's kind of turned over with so many young players. They're going through some tough times.
Western Kentucky, they're second.
Tough
it will be
times.
30 seconds.
right now, but there's so many learning experiences. You can see talent out on the field, scheme that they're trying to instill in their players. They're just going through these battles, trying to learn. And as young players, it's a tough thing, losing ball games, but you hope that'll pay off in the long run, the seasons to come. But also, this is a team with so many close losses. They just have to find a way to get over the hump. And I think it starts with the quarterback position, finding somebody to be your leader on your team.
Hassan Klue has taken these couple snaps, handed it off to iShot Finger, but you look at Klue and Jay, he was one we talked with the Charlotte coaches earlier in the week, especially offensive coordinator Shane Montgomery. You never know how a guy's going to react. When you lose your starting job, you were that guy. He transferred into this school and had some big moments. Let him do a win on the road against Florida Atlantic a couple years ago. As Finger goes up the middle, and that'll be a first down, and that will put a wrap on this game with the first down. But everything you've heard about Hassan Klue is a guy that has handled this situation the best way that really you can ask for.
It's tough when you're a senior, but the respect that he has for the players and the coaches, they said it. I mean, he's handled it perfectly in his leadership, and it's so hard when, as a senior, you want to go out starting every game, have a huge season. When things aren't going that way, to still show the leadership, staying after practice, throwing with your wide receivers, being a mentor for the younger players. When your number is called, when your role is to go into the game, going in, executing, you just have to really feel good about how he's handled the situation. He's getting an opportunity in these ball games to come in and play a role.
Klue goes in victory formation, one more knee, and that will do it. First time Charlotte putting up 40 points in a football game since September 10th, 2016, when they played Elon and beat them 47-14. There's the second knee from Klue, and that will do it. The Charlotte 49ers on homecoming for the second straight year pick up a W today over Western Kentucky. The final, Charlotte 40, Western Kentucky 14. And Jay, we had a spotlight player before the game. It was Benny LeMay, and he no doubt delivered for the Charlotte 49ers.
He was outstanding in the first half, but in the second half, he just took over the ball game. The offensive line, they won it at the line of scrimmage, but LeMay running, pass blocking, catching the ball in the backfield, he does it all. And when he gets the carries, when he's involved, he gets better throughout the game. And he was just outstanding today, leading his team to victory.
And then defensively, Juwan Foggy, the star, 2 interceptions and a sack.
All over the field. I mean, he's a force with the interceptions, turning the ball over, but his coverage, and just he's one of those guys that he can be on the other side of the field and he can still make a play because of his speed. These defenses have to know where he is when they're going against Foggy.
So the Charlotte 49ers get the win, improve the 2-1 in conference play, 3-3 on the season. And it was the 49er defense early on, thanks to Juwan Foggy making the big play. Benny LeMay, 2 touchdown runs in this football game, and it was this pick early on that got momentum going the way of the Charlotte 49ers. 49ers in action next weekend as they'll take on Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky back home as they take on Old Dominion. For Jay Sonhalter, I'm Bobby Rosensky saying so long from Charlotte, where the final score is the 49ers 40 and the Hilltoppers 14. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.